Friends, this evening we have a program on with 5 participants. And before we go on to the program and the details, I would like to give a short introduction about the TopLeague as an organization, Participes Tuisuentia as an forum, and also a brief introduction about the world's most best trainers competition. On TopLeague, that organization was founded by Mr. Arun Subramanian and a group of 40 professionals having vast and varied experiences in different Indian and multinational companies. We are a passionate, dedicated, and committed professionals to train and transform individuals and organizations to achieve their business goals. The organization was founded in January 2020, and while we were doing our contributions and business, we were able to identify that there's a huge requirement in terms of a knowledge sharing, especially when the pandemic hit the Indian economy. And during that time, on January 2021, 1st of January, we came out with this forum, which is Participi Tuisuentia, which is nothing but a knowledge sharing forum, where we invite our program participants, our training program participants and our consultancy program participants to come over and share the knowledge over a platform. And it has been successfully done for the last 3 months. And during the process, we also wanted to have a much more contribution to the training industry. And most of you might have heard about the opportunities in training and how the training industry has been sort of languishing in India compared to what is there in US and Europe. Having said this, we have come out with the Participes Tuisuentia has come out with a thought process, an idea, where we will invite trainers in the country to come over and share the presentation, show the knowledge, and deliver the training. And in the process, we wanted to recognize them, reward them, and have an opportunities brought in front of them by bridging the trainers and the training industry and the consuming organizations. So this is the brief about the company. And before we go into the program, I would request Mr. Daniel Jacob to provide a few points here and then take over. I invite Mr. Daniel Jacob, please.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mohan, for your introduction. Well, friends, welcome to the second day of the world's best trainers qualifying round. As introduced, my name is Daniel Jacob, and I am the head of panels for this competition. Well, yesterday was the first day, and we had 5 powerful presentations. I want to tell you, none of these people we have heard at all. They have just come to the screen the first time, and we are hearing them for the first time. Not that we did an audition to them and got them onto the screen, but they have done a wonderful work, wonderful presentation, and we all were benefited by their knowledge and experience, which 5 of them shared. Now this day, the second day, we are going to have 5 more experts who are going to talk about their expertise. And I'm sure this is going to be yet another day of enrichment. I can assure you that, because TopLeague programs are always done professionally, and we ensure that no stone is left unturned when it comes to professionalism and world class, because everything has to be world class, and we aspire to do that. Well, these competitions has got 2 rounds. One is the qualification round, and that will go up to mid of May, wherein close to 150 participants express themselves. And out of them, 30 odd participants will be shortlisted for the competition round, based on the criteria that have been shared with them, and also on the judges and the audience poll, we will shortlist 30 contestants for the competition round, and that will go on for the next 3 months. So here we have got a long drawn process to qualify for the world's best trainer platform. Well, I need to tell you that this initiative involves a lot of effort and a lot of money. So here we need to raise funds. As we said in the last session yesterday, I shared we have to generate 5 to 7 lakhs to run this event. The reason is the speakers who are giving the talk over here are also exposed to the global world, so that these people can be recognized and they get a good exposure and a career opportunity if they want to. So all this gets into a lot of money that is involved, and the winners are also going to get very healthy awards, and they are going to cherish it for a lifetime. So in order to raise funds for this, we have a model called Pay What You Want. World's Best Trainer is a contest designed by the community members of Participate to Scientia. The people are the owners of the contest. To enhance their ownership and experience, Top League has decided to offer slices of the popular master classes of Mr. Arun Subramaniam to the community members on a pay what you want basis. Members can donate to the competition expenses according to the convenience and also take advantage and participate in a world-class program. We had the first of this kind on April 4th, the master class from Mr. Arun Subramaniam, which was a top class by means of delivery, by means of takeaways, and by means of participants getting the best of it. And that program was titled Turning Failure on Its Head, a very powerful one. And I had the great opportunity of attending the program, and I can tell you it was mind-blowing. It also gave me the courage to take failure and turn it on its head. Now, the second in the series is Persuasion, the Science of Shared Solution. This is a 4-hour slice from his extraordinary and famous Who Are You Talking To? It's a 45-hour program priced at 1,500 USD. Well, this program is offered to the participants on Pay What You Want To. The reason being, we want people to donate and contribute because we are developing a platform, a world-class platform. And more importantly, we are providing trainers an opportunity to expose themselves to the global. The reason being, it needs a lot of money and people might not have the means to do it. And as an organization supported by the Top League, we are going to provide this great opportunity. So while being part of a significant course, these programs have been converted into standalone programs to benefit the community. So friends, we want to share with you a short video, give a trailer of what this Pay What You Want program. So here I would request Mr. Mohan Raju to share a 4-minute video, and let's listen to that, and then we get into the competition, because this is a very, very important aspect. The reason is that everything needs to be funded, and I tell you, this is a great opportunity to fund and make this program world-class. So over to you, Mr. Mohan, to play the video.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm playing it.
I'll play. Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it. Conquer the world.
Sound is not okay, DP.
What is going to be immune? Your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand what is this video about. This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In who are you talking to? Before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the number one leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop. Who are you talking to? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Well, friends, this is a great opportunity for you to be part of this powerful international program and benefit as a participant, because anybody who attends Mr. Arun Subramanian program really has a lot of takeaway. The link will be provided. Kindly do register yourself and be part of the program. And as you're registering, you're also contributing to this forum as we endeavor to create world's best trainers. So the link will be provided. You can go ahead and book yourself a slot and make use of this pay what you want and enroll yourself with this enriching opportunity. Yeah, the link is there. Kindly do support. We need all your support in making this truly world-class. Thank you. Well, as we get into the competition, a very intense one indeed. And now, as I told you, this is the qualifying round. I'm going to share with you the criteria on which the participants will be qualified. The 5 criteria for qualification is, one is the content, where in the content you get 10 points. The concept that you brought out in the content and the way you have structured it is very, very important. Now, whatever we are saying, the criteria is just not for this competition alone. Whenever you're making a presentation anywhere, these are the criteria you need to keep in mind. The next one is delivery. When we talk about delivery, your fluency and articulation. At the cost of boring you, let me tell you, fluency and articulation does not come just like that. You need to be confident, and that comes only when you practice. So practice and perfect practice is what is going to make you perfect. And then absence of non-words and fillers. Generally, speakers have got a habit of getting into swaying the body and saying, yeah, why? Why? Because, see, all these are distractors, which is not painting you a good picture. So therefore, ensure that there are no fillers or non-words. The third criteria is the presentation deck. The visual appeal, the fonts and the graphics that you're using has to be of world class. Simple as that. Whatever you know, we want you all to do it. But also, we have a hand-holding session for you. Whether you're going to be in the finals or not, we want to ensure that you create world-class presentation, and we will have hand-holding sessions for you. You can always get into our panels that are already there and just seek for help, and it is always there to give you the necessary support to make your presentation deck interesting. The visual consistency, that means the design. So it is ensure there is a flow in your design and not taking the audience off gear by means of sudden change of the design consistency. Fourth one is the competitor's presence. When you stand in front of an audience, be it in the live session or an online session, it has to express confidence. That means there is an SME trait in you, the subject matter expert. The moment you come and take the dais or stand in front of the camera, you're already started communicating that, yes, you are a master in what you're going to talk about. So therefore, that confidence comes when you have a great subject knowledge. That carries 10 points. So all these 4 points that I told you carries 10 points each. And the fifth one is the other factors is the time. 30 minutes is the presentation over here. You must ensure you finish your presentation the 30th minute. You'll get a warning bell on the 25th minute, indicating that you've got 5 more minutes to go. So therefore, ensure that you finish your talk by 29th minute. You get another bell indicating you got 1 more minute to go. Because you must know, you might have the world of time to communicate, but the world does not have the time to receive your communication. So therefore, be careful about timing. And here in this competition round, it is 30 minutes per participant. Your appearance, the way you carry yourself, your dress, your mannerisms, all these are carrying points. Then your ability to involve audience, as and when possible. If there is opportunity for you to involve audience, you can kindly do so. And the background of this presenter, ensure you don't have baggages at the back, clothes tied up and kept at the back, because these videos, we are going to make snippets of it and we're going to share it and put it on a video collage. So therefore, make the best use of this opportunity that's given to you and have the best of the presentation. And now I'm glad to introduce to you the first participant, the contestant who is going to talk about emotional intelligence. And this contestant has got 25 years of standing as a trainer and more than 4,500 full-day workshops for 250 plus corporates across the country. He was adjudged 4th best debater of India with 125 awards. His mission is to help organizations to take their human potential to new frontiers. He strives this through his Mind Mover Management Consultants Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, I have immense pleasure in introducing to you the contestant number 1, Mr. Jai Prakash Kabra. Over to you, Mr. Jai Prakash.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, thank you very much for that nice words. This is JB Kabra. I will tell you easiest method to remember my name. Remember Cobra. And that's, it's the easiest method to remember my name. I'll be talking to you about emotional intelligence and its connect to people management. I have spent my entire life, practically 41, 42 years in managing people. And believe me, the most difficult task in the management is managing people, managing men and women alike. And what role emotional intelligence can play if you have to manage the people. Does emotional connect will have a positive impact? Answer is yes. And how are you going to do? I have divided my session into 3 parts. I'll be spending very less time on understanding the concept of emotional intelligence because I believe most of you know it. Only thing is, this particular concept was not new to us. We knew it very well. In fact, if you go through Indian epic, there is a beautiful book written by Samarth Ramdas, and the book is called Dasbodh. If you take Daniel Goleman on one hand, and you try to relate with the Dasbodh, 90% of the correlation is possible. The only thing is, because it has been research concept, I too have carried a little bit research on this particular topic, and I will be sharing with you that. Second part would be its connect with people management. I'm going to share how people have used it. Most of the managers, good managers have used it. And including, I won't good manager that you have to decide, but I have also used it on many occasions and it has paid me rich dividend. And the third most part is, how do I acquire? So let me start going by moving to my screensaver. With that screen sharing, I will be talking to you about the emotional intelligence part in less than 10 minutes or so. And here comes the emotional intelligence and it's connect with the people. Yeah. Yeah. Start. Yes. Emotional intelligence and its connect with the people management. Next. Yeah. I remember the beautiful sentence by Aristotle. Once Aristotle had said, any one of us can become angry. That's easy. But to be angry with the right person at the right, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose and the right way is extremely difficult. That's not easy. All of us, we get angry. But to get angry with the right person is going to be an important, and that is what is going to be decided by what we mean by emotional intelligence. Next. Now, what is emotional intelligence? First, let me understand and let me make you understand the emotion. The word has come out from the Latin word, which is called as emotus. So anything which motivates you is called as an emotion. And therefore, it is capacity and capability of our own recognizing our emotion and emotion of others. And this will help us in motivating ourselves and also improving our relationship with people. And when I talk of people, I don't mean only at the work, because you have to manage with the colleagues, you have to manage boss, you have to manage subordinate, you have to manage vendors, you have to manage people at all levels, you have to manage your family, you have to manage your spouse. Everywhere this can be used is what emotional intelligence is all about. Now, let me ask you a question. There are various kinds of emotions. All of us, we know anger is an emotion, sadness is an emotion, fear is an emotion, enjoyment is an emotion, love is an emotion, surprise is an emotion, disgust is emotion, shame is emotion, and there are many more. Now, most of us, we try and label them. We would generally label anger as a bad emotion, but I disagree. Most of the people in the world, they came up only because they got angry. And two examples I would like to share. One is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi got angry when he was thrown out from the railway compartment. Any one of us would have picked up the stone and smashed the head of the person and then would have been detained in the jail. Mahatma Gandhi converted this supposedly negative emotion into positive energy. He gave a befitting reply. He said, all right, today I'll push me out of train, tomorrow I'll push you people out of my country. Is it not the practical and finest way of converting anger, which is supposed to be negative emotion, into positive energy? Second example, all of us, we are aware of Dhirubhai Ambani. One of the odd jobs which he did, he was a petrol pump boy. After filling the petrol, he was touching the car with anxiety, and the fellow took a dig at him. Hey, the way you are touching the car, do you want to buy the car? Again, any one of us would have picked up the stone and smashed the windscreen and lost the job. Dhirubhai gave a befitting reply. He said, no, sir, I will not buy your car, but I will make that petrol which makes your car run. Is it not another? Love, supposedly positive emotion. But imagine what happens if the love is in excess. It will lead to obsession. And there are again two examples. I don't know how many of you are aware. There was a famous murder case in Mumbai called Rinku Patil. Now this girl was in 9th standard and a boy was madly in love with her. This girl did not respond. Therefore, this boy went to her class, doused her with a petrol and set her ablaze. If you cannot become mine, you will not become of anybody. Tu meri nahi ban sakti, tu kisi aur ki bhi nahi ban sakti. Love, obsession led to. Amrita Deshpande from Sangli was a similar example. In my own city of Thane, there was a girl whose face was mutilated because she did not respond. So love is a good emotion, but excessive, it will be converted into bad. Similarly, the sadness.
So there's a challenge in your network connectivity.
And this foundation fulfills the desire of the people who could not otherwise fulfill the wish of their dying child. So is it not something like that? Therefore, my suggestion to you would be, don't label the emotion either positive or negative. Emotions are emotions, and we make them positive or negative. Next, there are 5 core skills. All of us, we are aware. 3 of them are intrapersonal skill and 2 of them are interpersonal skill. In intrapersonal skill, awareness. Am I aware of what emotion I'm going through? When I say that, who told you I'm angry? Nobody need to tell me. The way I shouted, the way I banged my hand, it shows that I'm in angry. Therefore, accept that you are angry. Accept that you are sad. Accept that you are disgusted. Whatever it is. Similarly, am I not required to accept the emotion of others? The second important part is emotional resilience or impulse control. If I have to meet the long-term goal, am I not required to compromise on? And the third important thing is the ability to motivate myself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, nobody can motivate me, nobody can frustrate me. It is me who allow the people to either motivate me or to frustrate me. And therefore, how do I use this self-motivation? And there are 2 important interpersonal emotional intelligence criteria, and they are empathy. The most important part of the empathy is ability to listen. Only if I listen, I will be able to empathize, not otherwise. And therefore, ability to listen and empathize. The difference between sympathy and empathy is very simple. Sympathy is called as I know what you feel, and empathy is I feel what you feel. Putting ourselves into the shoe of another person and imagining. Therefore, is it not important? And the last but the most important is the ability to network. Now, through my training program, I must have come across 2.5 lakh people. I did a program for Maharashtra Police. Most of the Bombay Police are good friend of mine. So it is a network which will come to your rescue. And whatever you do in good time will come to your rescue during your bad time is what I honestly believe. And therefore, these are the skills which we need to acquire. Few important things which I would like to tell before I go into the next slide is, most importantly, in emotional intelligence, please remember the beautiful prayer which comes from Bible and is also a punchline of a small organization, social organization called Alcoholics Anonymous. And this particular prayer goes, God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. हे भगवान, जिस परिस्थिति को मैं नहीं बदल सकता, उसे स्वीकारने के लिए आवश्यक मन की प्रसन्नता मुझे दो। जिस परिस्थिति को मैं बदल सकता हूं, उसे बदलने का धैर्य और ताकत मुझे दो, और ये दोनों का फर्क समझने का ज्ञान मुझे दो. That's all. What I can change and what I cannot change. The second important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is don't try to change others unless you have changed yourself. And this beautiful lesson I learned from Hindi cinema Sholay. असरानी सेज, हम अंग्रेज के जमाने के जेलर हैं. आजकल हमारी बातों को पसंद नहीं किया जाता, इसलिए हमारी हर जगह से बदली की जाती है, लेकिन इतनी बदलियों के बावजूद हम नहीं बदले. और जब हम ही नहीं बदले तो तुम क्या बदल सकते हो? Sir, respect cannot be demanded, it has to be commanded. Whatever you give, it will come back. The Bible, another word which says, the heart which gives in abundance receives in plenty. जो दिल देना जानता है उसे लेने का अधिकार प्राप्त होता है. And the only people who are self-aware, they will not take any important decision of their life unless and until they know that they are in a proper frame of mind. When they know that they are not in a proper frame of mind, they will not take an important. And the females are very good in that. When a husband and wife, they fight, and the husband is ready to quit the house, मैं घर छोड़ के जा रहा हूं, the lady doesn't bother. She doesn't even wait for a moment. She knows that he will go and come back in next few minutes or maybe half an hour or so. And therefore, that is important that you be aware of the emotional intelligence. Next. Now, self-awareness, I already talked to you. The second important thing is about impulse control. The impulse control is ability to control my emotions. Therefore, if I have to write an exam and somebody calls me tomorrow, hey, let's go for a movie. And if I succumb, no, I must tell him, I must have an ability. It's like playing a game of a chess. If you want to checkmate, similarly, if you want to achieve long-term goal, you have to sacrifice your short-term goal. Is ability to do the self-control. And you are famous, you are all aware of the famous experiment, which is called as a marshmallow experiment, where if it is taught in the early childhood, it helps. The third important thing is the ability to motivate. We did an experiment in a company here in Bombay. For some reasons, I will not be able to tell you the name of the company, but the experiment was done where the two people were tagged, And these people were, one person had a positive kind of a dent of mind. He was emotionally unstable, and the other fellow was emotionally stable. Now what this fellow had done was, both of them had similar kind of a work, both of them had similar kind of a assignment, both of them were getting the same salary, same family background, but one was always angry, the second one was always positive towards the life. He looked at the life positively, the other fellow looked at life negatively. And when I tried to research, I came to know that the positive fellow had understood that 8 hours are not in his hand, but 16 hours are in his hand. I will do something which I love, thereby I will fill my battery, and which will be used to get discharged when I do routine discharge at the work and also off the work, because he had nothing great work to do. And therefore it is ability. And the most important thing is ability to listen. We hardly listen. There is a difference between hearing and listening. When you hear, there are 2 ears involved, but when you listen, there is a CPU which is involved. And when you empathize, I work with veteran social worker, Dr. Baba Amte. And one example I would like to quote, there are several examples, but for want of time, I am restricting to one. And there we produce everything, and then it is taken to the market. We had taken freshly cut cauliflower, 40 kg. The owner came, the very big landlord came with a servant, asked him to pick up that 40 kg cauliflower, and he had just kept 1 rupee. Can you believe, ladies and gentlemen, there were tears rolling down the eyes of this particular workman, because probably he was telling, I understand because I can empathize with you, because I'm a workman. My probably boss may not understand because he has never tiled. And therefore, the story does not end there. We did not say anything because that was the rule. After the end of the day, the fellow comes back, just picks up one small cucumber and is show your empathy to people, and the people will be attracted to you. So the ability to motivation, ability to empathize, and ability to network. I must have a network. Whichever flight I take, whichever train I take, I get some of my participants, and they recognize me, they appreciate me, and they tell, sir, you had conducted this program. So whatever work I want to do, it will be automatically done in that particular case. And therefore, now the question comes is, how do I develop my EI? The question is, spend time with nature. Nature has a biggest impact on your emotion. And more particularly, when you go to hill station, when you go to beaches, the color there is either green or it is sky blue. And these two colors have a soothing effect on your eye. And therefore, spend time with nature. It will automatically help you. Second is, write your diary. Yesterday, I was listening to Vaishali. She was saying that journal has to be completed. The same thing is true. How did I handle the situation? Was there any other better method of handling? And third one is control your breath. When you get angry, what happens to your breath? You breathe fast and shallow. And the moment you breathe fast and shallow, what happens? I told you, you did not listen. And then there is a less oxygen. And therefore, the oxygen, the impure blood will go to your brain, and some of the centers will be deactivated. But if you take a deep breath, the exact amount of oxygen is available, your blood will get purified, and the purified blood will be supplied to your brain, and therefore it will think. And the most important question which generally people ask me, sir, it is the small structure which is called amygdala, where it is a seat of emotion. And sometimes you don't know, it gets hijacked for no reason. And we call it as an emotional hijack. And therefore, the last important thing is ability to laugh at self-deprecating sense of humor. My color is a guaranteed. I know I cannot change it. So what do? I accept it. Now, there are only two methods available, ladies and gentlemen. Either I accept smilingly or I accept grudgingly. I have thought of first method. I accept smilingly. Now, you might ask me question, how do you smile at your guaranteed color? I have developed my own method. I compare myself with a god. 95% gods are matching in my color. Take example, Prabhu Sri Ramchandra, Kala Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Kala Tirupati ka Balaji, Kala Kerala ka Ayyappa, Kala Jagannatpuri ka Jagdish, Kala Dwarka ka Dwarkadish, Kala, और हम मराठी लोगों का पंढरपुर का विठ्ठल भी काला है, इसके लिए जेबी काबरा काला. Now how do you feel? There was a friend of mine, sir, clean, not a single fellow left. 25, he was unmarried. He used to cry. He said, look, gentlemen, now what a God has been unjust to me. I gave him a beautiful quote, in English quote. I said, God has created few perfect heads. The imperfect ones are covered with hair. Thereafter, he never cried in the life. So the thing which you cannot change, you better accept it, is the most important part. Now the question, which is the most important part of my presentation, is how it can be connected with people management. Now, when I talk of people, remember, ladies and gentlemen, the most difficult aspect of the management is people management, because people are unique. When people are called as a human resource, I feel little pinch. People cannot be resource. It is not a mineral resource. It is not a water resource. It is not a forest resource. It is not any other resource. Resource is something static. People are not static. They have response. And therefore, I refuse to call my department as a human resource department. I call my department as a human response department. Don't forget, a human being. Workman is a man first and the workman later. But what we do? We put the cost of labor on the liability side. But remember, if you call on you, and if you call them as an asset, again they will disappoint you. They will be an asset for you. It depends on how you treat them, and therefore that's very, very important. Few examples I would like to give you, and therefore we need to give, before you, chairman of Tata and steel company Tisco had acquired one coal mine, and this coal mine had a accumulated loss, maybe say 20 crore or so. It was a small, and they had a 400 workers, and these workers were represented by a militant trade union called C2. Now the day when they decided to take a morcha, the personal manager of that coal mine got hijacked. He said, oh my God, now on the first day there is a morcha at managing director's place. Out of panic, he telephoned sir, and he said, sir, do I organize police? He said, don't do that. Just tell me how long they were, maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Believe me, in 1.5 hours, Mr. Rusi Modi, in his sprawling bungalow, he made the arrangement of breakfast, snacks, and tea, coffee for all 400 of them, and stood at the gate to receive them. Now tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think these people would have thought? Who would welcome them? Obviously, the police with lathis, and they were surprised. There is nobody. They got confused whether you have come to wrong address. And then they said, no, that butler, the shorty fellow, is a Rusi Modi. He said, yes, I am your new chairman and managing director. Please come. He shook hand with all 400 of them, made them sit. The Baira started serving them snacks. He said, please have it, because I'm also going to have my breakfast with you. Somehow they finished the breakfast. And then the Rusi Modi asked them a question. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what brings you here? Now they were zapped. They said, sir, we were just passing by, therefore we thought of saying you hello. He said, don't kid me, don't kid yourself. You have come in such a big number. Therefore, something must be bugged. It's a little courage. And he said, sir, we are working in this coal mine, but we don't get personal protective equipment. We don't get helmet. We don't get soap, because after a day's work, we need to take a bath. And after taking a bath, we need to apply coconut oil. In the meantime, company's finance manager came. He pulled Modi's shirt. Sir, company is in loss. He said, I'm aware of that. He just went on calculating, and he accepted demand after demand. He said, yeah, this granted, this granted. Total cost came about 50 lakhs. So maybe the burden now from 20 lakh, it became 20 crore. He said, all right. The people, they said, sir, thank you very much. We were told that you are a very tough boss, but we were thoroughly mistaken. You are an extremely good person. We are delighted to be with you. He said, all right. So please permit us to go. And they shouted, Rusi Modi Zindabad. He said, all right, gentlemen, I have accepted your demand, but what about my demand? And then these people said, sir, just order us and we will do whatever are your wishes. He said, I don't want anything from you. I just want 2 promises. Promise number 1, you will work for full 8 hours without wasting a single minute. And second, you will accept the job, whatever the job is given to you by your superior. That's all. They said, sir, done. And Modi, sir, he told in a biannual conference in the very first year of operation, where they got only 6 months. They not only cleared the backlog of the loss, which half crore. Is it not? So the heart which used in abundance receives in plain. First, we are aware what happened on 26/11 conducting training program in Hotel Taj for Taj employees. The people who were there in my training program at till 5:30, they were not there in the world at 9:30. Now they were attacked. And these people, Harvard Business School has come out with a study, and people were amazed to see, instead of saving their own life, they saved the life of the people. They saved the life of the people. And the people, how did they? There were 500 guests. There were 600 people in the banquet, and there were 600 employees, 1,700 employees. These people made human change. There are so many other hidden ways, and through these hidden ways, they carried most of the people to the safety. And when the research was carried out, 3 reasons were found out. One, they had a highest respect for their teachers. Reason. Second important reason, they have a reward system. If somebody does a good work, immediately he or she will be rewarded. And that's the reason why, and therefore, Mr. Tata never asked, he just asked only one question, that how long you think you will take to repair and they restart the hotel. They said, sir, 6 months. In 5.5 months, the hotel started. Now, is it not something? Mr. Tata himself visited Bombay Hospital, where most of the injured people were admitted. He visited almost all the families. He extended them support. He told them, the children, that your education is Tata Sons' responsibility, and therefore that makes a difference. Now, there are a couple of examples which I handle in my own situation. I was working for a company called as Bharti Shipyard. Now, this company, they told me, sir, Mr. Kabra, we are going to take your death procession tomorrow. I could have got angry. I could have organized police. And I would have said it that I will bloody see how you do that. I said, oh, thank you very much. I'm glad that you are organizing my death procession. They thought this fellow has gone mad. They said, sir, it is not a victory procession, it's a death procession. Why are you being happy? I said, good to see you people. Now the result was they never organized that. And then I only told them the next day, I had got one opportunity to witness my death procession. You people have even deprived me of this particular thing. Second example, I was working for a company manufacturing glass bottle. Now there what happens is that there is a job change crew. And the job change crew, they have to work all 365 days because you have a holiday only when the furnace is shut, which is generally after 5 to 6 years of its life. And the job change was going on. It was a day of a festival of a color. And this engineer, who was also in big demand, he just applied, he put his hand in that machine oil and applied it to that gentleman who was not only the fitter, best fitter, but was also Union General Secretary. Now there was an emotional hijack took place, and he told immediately, I need bloody your apology. Now this fellow otherwise shared such a good equation. He said, sir, we have got such a good equation. Why should I apologize? He said, unless you apologize, I'm going to stop the furnace. The furnace was stopped. The temperature started coming down, and between 1600 to 900, it takes about 8 hours. If it falls below 900, the entire furnace would have gone, which had only 3 weeks life, which had enjoyed. It had another 5 years and almost 9 months life to live. And the cost of the furnace was 20 crore in year 1980-81. I'm talking about. I came to the situation. This fellow is a color. He just, like roaring like a lion, and all 400 people are sitting. I immediately realized there is a problem with emotions. So I told him that, all right, I apologize on behalf. He said, no, you did not apply the color. There is no reason why you should apologize. That fellow must apologize. Then I told them I have to play with the word. I have to play with the emotion. I told them, all right. Now what I can do is I will talk to the engineer and at least make him ready. If not apology, he will regret on the incident. And then I told him that you have studied in Marathi medium, I have studied in Marathi medium, but both are not different. They both are carry the same meaning. Otherwise, this factory is going to close. I will also need a job, please. So please search a job for me. Then they realized that stake. The union leader, he thereafter, because he wanted to save his skin, he said, all right, Mr. Kabra, if you are telling that regret and apology are the same, I will accept on the regret. Now the part 2, the fellow is again that engineer. He was also in big demand. He would carry all the resignations in all possible pocket. I told him, sir, you need not apologize. He said, come again, tell me. I said, no, I don't. I will not allow you to apologize. But you know the situation. Can you regret on the incident? And he said, all right, I will regret on the incident. Now both the people were brought. Now this fellow comes, stands like this. Mr. Kadam, whatever has happened in the morning, I regret. Kadam says, sir, is this a way of regret? Took that Union General Secretary's hand. made them to have a forcible handshake. I told the electrician that please start the electric supply to the furnace. The furnace temperature started increasing and the factory temperature started decreasing. Was it not an emotional, intelligent activity at that time? I know I tried to fool both of them, but believe me, I had no other option. Thereafter, we took a corrective action. That's a part 2. Similarly, there was another situation where I was working in a pharma company. In pharma company, there are generally husband and wife. Either they are there right before they join or they become subsequently. Now there was a sweeper and his wife was a supervisor. Now she was a supervisor in tablet department and this fellow was a sweeper in ointment department. Ointment department, there was no work, but at tablet department, we had a lot of work. The container had come to stuff and that container had to leave for JNPT because the ship was to sail the next day. And you cannot start unless you sell they call it as a fumigation so that it has to become disinfectant. And that is a job which is to be done by a sweeper. Now the sweeper of this department has not come and there is no work. That sweeper is sweeping, sitting idle. Now the engineer telephoned the shift in charge to the production manager. Sir, there is no sweeper. What do I do? He said, call that fellow. He gone and told him, hey, sab tere ko bolta hai, tu jao udhar. He told him that you remove me from job, but I'm not going to go there and sweep. Then this fellow comes and tells him, sir, he is telling that he will not go. And this fellow manager told, wo kya uska baap bhi jayega. And that was a trigger point. The entire factory went on flash strike. I reached the factory. The people were sitting. And I realized I was a new. I did not know. I checked. And then I realized, I told that gentleman, I said, yaar, that lady, wo aapka wife hai na? Bola, haan saab, you tell these people they won't have supervisor, would you sweep in her presence? I said, I'll never do that. And now you are not going to do it. Now you are, whatever may happen, let even managing director tell you are not going to do it. But let the batch of 30 lakhs be wasted. The container did not go. There is a company which is put to a loss of 1.5 crore. Whatever may happen, but you are not going to do it. Because there is no other alternative. I see, sir, there is alternative. The fellow who creates a problem generally gives you the solution. He told, I will go sweep the floor over there and transfer that sweeper from the liquid oral department to tablet department because his wife does not work over there. Now, don't you think the problem was solved by using the emotional connect with the people? Let me tell you, the moment you connect with the people emotionally, people are with you. They're ready to do whatever sacrifice you want. I know when after that attack took place in Bombay, Hotel Leela, their occupancy came down to 10%. And Captain Gopinath, he had only 2 options. He said, I have 450 contract labor. Either I do away with their services because I can't provide them a job, or you take a temporary cut of 10% in your salary. That will remain as a deposit with me. Once the situation improves, I will give you back. At that time, they agreed. And within 6 months, their money was returned back. So is it not possible? Is it not possible? So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to tell you that emotionally, if you are having a stories in my life, there is a failure story also. Because I did not realize the emotion, I did not connect with the emotion of that particular person, I had to suffer. Because by accident, I call one of the security supervisor as a guard. And he never allowed me to get in because he was a CISF fellow and my appointment had to be cancelled and rescheduled because I forgot. Because please remember, you need to protect the self-ego, the self-esteem of the people. I'll tell you, I was working at one of my plant was at Baroda, and there we had a Kaizen. And in Kaizen, I did another improvement, and that Kaizen reward we were giving at their place. 4 people will compulsorily go. His supervisor, his HOD, the plant head, the plant HR man, and whenever I used to go from corporate office, I used to go. My God, fantastic atmosphere. I asked one of his child, small child of a workman, hey, tell me, why you think we are here? He said, sir, my dad has done such a good work in the company, therefore you have come to reward him. You should have seen the spark in those little eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, that spark is the biggest reward. And what happens is, because of this, the image of the workman or that husband gets elevated in the eyes of his wife also, because most of the wives, they think the most hopeless fellow in the is, all right, fellow seems to be good. Here is something which is left. People are coming to reward him. Therefore, if not for 7 life, at least this life it will do. So the point I am trying to tell, ladies and gentlemen, connect with the people emotionally. Let the emotions come from your heart. Talk to them from heart to heart. Believe them. If you have an open communication, if you involve them in decision-making process, they are with you. But we do not involve. We tell them that it is not your job to apply your brain. It is my job. Now, do you think what they will do? 72,000 young born kids die in this country because of a stupid reason. The child falls from a lap of a nurse and dies because it is not her child. And my point, if you are emotionally intelligent, you have to do only one thing. You just define the problem, ask the people to give their opinion, and 99% of the time, your idea will come from their mouth. And now it is no more your idea. The monkey which was sitting on your shoulder has conveniently gone on their shoulders, and they will carry it happily. And 99% it works. And therefore, involve people. Do connect with them. Simple thing like a telco. Or even in my own company, I did. We require uniform. I think my time is running up. I'll take only 2 minutes. We said, why can't we give the job to their family? So we told them, we taught them stitching. The uniform were stitched by these wives. They got source of livelihood, and my IR issues were finished in no time. Because tomorrow, if he comes complaining about the quality of the stitching, I have to simply put a finger to his wife. Hey, don't come and tell me. It has been stitched by your wife. So if you at all you have to go and complain her. My problem is sorted out. Can we not do it? Think, what you can do. Think what you can do to help them. So if you help them in the process, you are helped all by yourself, is my honest belief. And therefore, use this emotional intelligence as a tool and manage people, because ultimately people are people. And, and therefore they need to be managed with brilliant heart. And that's how the emotional intelligence comes to.
Right, so thank you so much. I think there's a audio disturbance and connectivity issue.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, tell me.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights, for your energy and excitement, and very importantly, years of experience you got in this line. And it was coming out very, very clear how passionate you are in order that people develop emotional intelligence and connect on the heart-to-heart level and not on an intellectual level. So thank you so much, sir, for your presence and participation. Correct. You are certainly honored our stage by your presence. We certainly thank you for your wisdom and for the sharing, sir. And I'm sure all the participants over here have taken a lot of learning from you, your energy and your commitment on emotional intelligence. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor having you here. All right. So I would request DP to put on the audience poll, please. Thank you so much.
Friends, I'm launching the poll now. Again, there are 5 criteria. If you feel it is the best, vote 10. If you feel it is not up to the mark, vote 1. So 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. I'm launching the poll now. Poll will run for 2 minutes. Kindly poll. We've got 1 more minute. Those of you who haven't, please vote. Another 20 seconds. The poll is ending. Thank you for all your votes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. And thank you, Mr. Cabra, for your session. Thank you so much. We really feel recognized with your experience. You come over here to share your points and your thoughts with so much of conviction and confidence. Thank you so much. Right. So we are getting into the next speaker, but before we get into the next speaker, I want to make it clear and reiterate the fact that this world's best trainer is a contest designed by the community members of Participate to CNTM. So the people are the owners of the contest. So to enhance their ownership experience, TopLeague has decided to offer slices of the popular masterclass of Mr. Arun Subramaniam to the community members on pay what you want basis. So members can donate generously to the competition expenses according to the convenience and not a compulsion, and participate in a world-class program. So the advantage of you being in the program is that you're going to get one of the best wisdoms that you could ever get, because I'm talking from an experience of having attended Mr. Arun Subramaniam program. He does a lot of research and then he brings out a master class so that we can benefit. So listening to him, you also get inputs on how to make an online presentation, because today everything is going online, and you also learn how you can convey your ideas across to people. So this is a very important program. We already had one turning failure on its head, very well received and very well delivered. Lots of takeaways for the participants who took part in it. So the second of the series is Persuasion, the Science of Shared Solutions. This is a 4-hour slice from his extraordinary and famous Who Are You Talking To? It's a 45-hour program. It is priced at 1,500 USD, and it is coming to you for 3 hours in time, where it is going to be a standalone program to benefit the community. And I'm sure you're going to grab this opportunity, because you being part of it, you're doing two things for yourself. One is you're empowering yourself, and two is you're empowering your community. So therefore, I'd like Mr. Durga Prasad to once again play the video so that we can get an insight into it, and you can get ready to get yourself into the program as well. The dates will be announced to you shortly. Over to you, Durga Prasad.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children, peer, subordinate, or even your boss, friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the #1 leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop. Who are you talking to? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Friends, you'll be having the link that will be shared on the chat box. So kindly get yourself in. As I told you, this is a world-class platform that we are creating, and it should not be a namesake world-class platform. Right now, IPL is going, the best of viewership is happening. The reason is that it's a world-class event because world-class prices and world-class players. So here in this platform, we are trying to create world-class trainers and give them world-class awards. So therefore, we are really making it big because we are simply not titled it world-class. We really mean world-class. So you are looking at 1,000 people to take part in this pay what you want. Persuasion, the science of shared solution. As Mr. Arun very rightly said in the video, this is a very, very important leadership trait. So therefore, I'd like you all to seize this opportunity and empower yourself and also empower this community of trainers as we create world-class trainers. Look forward to seeing you all on that event as well. It's certainly going to be worth your time that you're going to pay in the program along with what you want to pay. So friends, thank you so much. Use the link in the chat box. We already saw one person or a few people have already paid. We'd like you to really support this venture, which is really world class. And now I've got the next speaker, next contestant, who's going to talk on a very, very important subject, which is called perceptions. Now you probably want to know what this perception is all about. So yeah, this person is going to tell us what it is. A person who's got 20 plus years rich experience in work experience. His expertise include training, sales, marketing, handling large teams of managers, corporate profile. He's been a territory manager for HDFC, business development manager for Max Life Insurance, and area manager for ICICI Prudential. Like that, that means he is a person who's probably used all his perception skills to enhance the quality of people's life. He's the founder of Abhishek Brain Lang Incorporation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you the second competitor, Mr. Abhishek Verma.
Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to extend, my good wishes to the early presenter. I will take a humble request and a permission from all of you. I would like to use Hindi and English both. Is that permitted? Is that okay with you all? क्योंकि कुछ कहानियां ऐसी हैं जो काफी दिलचस्प हैं और उनमें हिंदी का थोड़ा समन्वय हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता है. So
Mr.
do I have the permission?
Now, Mr. Abhishek, because if you want everybody to understand,
Okay.
we'd like it to be 90% in English and 10%
All right.
in Hindi.
I'll auto tune myself to 90% English and 10% Hindi. I'll do it.
Okay, right.
Okay, so I'd like to share the screen if I have got the permission. I think yes. Everybody able to see this screen of mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can put it on the slideshow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
I believe everybody can see a beautiful butterfly out there, but then a question mark. You must be wondering that what kind of trainer he is. My God, coming and asking questions directly rather than discussing about the subject per se, which I am here invited. Well, see, I would like to park this particular figure, and please ask me after the end of my presentation, after some 25 minutes, that what it referred to. Because there is a very interesting thing that I would like to tell you about this particular picture and the butterfly. All right, so with this parked in your mind and the curiosity level set, I would like to welcome you to this small topic of perception that I will be talking upon. Guys, let me tell you, it's very simple and lucid. There are two basically narrations that I will be talking around. Two narrations, basically there are two stories. And after that, there are some two small messages that I would like, to park in front of all of you. Hope that you like the narrations and hope you like the messages. And through them, we're going to understand the topic perception. By the way, I really don't know how many of you are acquainted with the fact that perception comes from a Latin word. It's called perceptio, and it basically means to accumulate together, right? And hence, we would like to discuss, we would like to understand what is the importance of perception, how it is created. Is it a valid perception that we normally create of people and things like that? Hope this becomes a useful tool in your daily life. My first narration starts. Okay, so we go to the old times. We go back. There is this city like Venice and Verona. If you skim through the map also from Google, you will find that there are two cities which are like twin cities, but not so much like distance between them is around some miles apart. And hence people from Venice who wants to travel to Verona and from Verona to Venice, they have to travel for around some, you'll say some 10 or 12 hours. So it was a strenuous journey. And when I said that I'm taking you to the old times, I also mean that transportation was not so much high. So no kind of, air facility, flight facilities are there. Also, there is no train facility developed because of the schematic representation. You will find that's a very cumbersome kind of thing. They are basically two islands, and they are connected with a small narrow path. So either you do have a boat of yours or a private yacht, or you can, travel with your car or whatever mode of transport, road transportation is there. And in the middle, in the figure, there's also shown a hotel. Now, this hotel is of peculiar importance in our story because of the fact that only one hotel, a good hotel, used to exist in those days. And everybody who was traveling from one city to the other due to sundry reasons, they used to take shelter in this hotel. Kyunki itna samay aap jab, so when you travel so much, then you feel exhausted and tired. So our story basically has only three characters. No, I'm not talking about Venice Hotel in Verona, but I'm talking about three people who I will be making you acquainted very soon. All right. So there is this gentleman who is quite tired. Of course, he's traveled from a city. It's been some 7-8 hours of tiring journey of driving. And he has finally checked in the hotel. And I don't know how many of you have already recognized and who love to drink in order to ease out their day. And he is sitting in front of a bartender. He has ordered a drink. The bartender is very charming out there. Some of you might have already gauged the story because, I'm talking to a very elite crowd of trainers and their associates. But then let's walk through. I mean, there is some kind of twist in it. So this person orders for a drink. The waiter is very charming. He says that, sir, let me give you the best drink that we have because it seems that you are new in this hotel. He says that, oh yeah, please do that. I'm actually first time traveling and I'm coming from Venice. I'm going to Verona. The waiter offers the drink. The drink is impressive. He appreciates that. And while he is having a sip, he is thinking, he's constantly thinking, that person, that traveler. So the bartender, as the force of habit of our bartenders are, they tend to indulge you in some talking. They tend to entertain you, and already, so there was nobody else in the bartender section. So he started chatting with the person. He said, sir, it's been almost 20 years I'm working. Oh, that's great. Oh, lovely, 20 years. Yes, sir. So even my forefathers were working in this hotel. It's a very, very old hotel, 100 years old. And we have been servicing some very nice cuisine out here. People have been appreciating the food and things like that. And I am the bartender serving for last 20 years. And I wish to retire from this hotel. The other person, the traveler, appreciates. And during the conversation, he reveals that I am traveling from Venice and I'm going to Verona because of business purposes. So the bartender asked that, okay, so what are the reasons, sir? What takes you to Verona? The traveler says that, look, I am having a small shop in Venice. Things are not so well going on. People aren't cooperating good. So there are some orders, they got cancelled, unfortunately, due to some lackadaisical approach of the employees of ours. So due to that orders, 2 or 3 of clients are not happy with us. And even the orders have been, the overall flow have been very low. And my wife and I thought that why not we explore Verona and open a store there also, because, it will act as a kind of a compensation. Well, the bartender says that, oh, that's lovely, sir. You are going to Verona. By the way, what kind of, so that's the generic conversation he's having. And he's trying to understand that what kind of manufacturing goods or what kind of shop he's having. The person tells that it's been really tough out surviving in Venice because of the weather conditions. People aren't so cooperative and friendly. So this all summary one can easily make out while he is discussing with the bartender. And then suddenly this traveler asks, Acha, tell me, bartender, that you have been working for 20 years, right? So what do you know about Verona, where I'm going? Bartender says that, sir, let me tell you, I haven't been there, but then there are a lot of, travelers who come and they always chit chat with me. So whatever perception, whatever image I have of that city is based on the conversation I have with people. And before I tell that, let me ask you one thing, sir. In a nutshell, what do you think about Venice, the city from where you are coming from? The traveler says that, oh, Venice. See, I'm not quite okay with it. I'm not very happy with the city. As I already told you that we have been struggling in our businesses. Weather is so poor, it's not conducive out there. The roads are, I don't know what the government are doing. We vote and then they just forgot about 5 years or 10 years. They never pay attention to us. I don't know. So I'm not very satisfied, and things look gloomy. That's why I'm trying to go to Verona. Yeah, you were telling me about Verona? The bartender says, so to be honest, Verona is exactly like Venice. The people are exactly like what you are explaining, what you are narrating in Venice. And the atmosphere is also, the conditions are also not that conducive. The roads are also pathetic, and even government. This is what I heard. Oh, in a sigh, the traveler completes the drink and says that, okay, nevertheless, let me try my luck, dear friend. Thank you so much for your inputs. And then he goes back to his bed and, probably the other's day journey, he's trying to recover. That's one person. The moment he goes, there is another person who has come. And those who are observing my slides closely, they will find that there is a mirror image I have kept, which also says that, things have changed. All right, so bartender is doing his job and suddenly one smiling person, a very positive looking person comes there and greets the bartender and asks for a drink. Bartender, again, with the same routine follows, he makes and he offers the best kind of drink that he can offer, and he gives to the traveler number 2. The traveler number 2 enjoys the drink. He appreciates, saying that, oh, this is one of the best drinks that I have. So what all the ingredients you have put and things like that. And the conversation starts. Again, the bartender, out of inquisitiveness, asks that, so may I ask you, where are you from? The traveler 2 says that I'm from Verona, dear, and I'm actually traveling to Venice. Bartender says, oh, wow. Okay, a lot of people come from Verona and a lot of people travel to Venice. And what takes you to Venice, if I may ask? The traveler 2 says that, dear, see, I'm into, small business. We started some 10 years back, and luckily that business has flourished in Verona well. And here we want to, expand. And I'm thinking of expanding in Venice because I heard that it's kind of a similar city and things like that. And why not? So to explore the opportunity, this is my first trip. Hey, by the way, bartender, you told me you have been working for quite a long time, right? It's been some 19, 20 years, you said. The bartender replies, yes. So this person, again, out of curiosity, asked that, okay, tell me, have you heard about Venice before? I am, so it's my first trip. I have some kind of couple of contacts out there, but then just wanted to have a feel, before I enter the city. And the bartender says that, oh, sir, definitely, I have gathered a lot of information about Venice, but may I ask you one thing, sir? How is Verona, the city from you're coming from? And the traveler 2 is excited to tell, saying that, oh, it's lovely out there. This is my card. Please have my card. The name and number are mentioned here. Whenever you find time and you're on leaves and you want to drop in and want to enjoy, do come out to Verona. Come to my city. I'll treat you well. And it's such a good drink that you have offered. And let me tell you that we people in Verona are very good at offering. Our courtesy, our hospitality is something very beautiful, and people appreciate this fact. And the nature is very nice. I think we've got a very nice climate. Of course, it's just like other parts of the country, but then we really enjoy the rainy seasons out here, and our business flourishes during that time. People are good. It's very cooperative. Things like that. After a couple of drinks, a couple of sips, he remembers the bartender. Oh, you were is good. And definitely the way you have flourished your business in Verona, Venice also. Guys, you are able to hear me, right? Because there is a small message that popped up just now.
Just that last 2 sentences.
Okay. The last 2 sentences is, the bartender says that Venice, the city you are going to, is exactly like Verona. The city is cool, it's calm, people are good, business opportunities are there, the weather is nice, and you will love to work with the people. And this man, the traveler 2, is very excited. And he's thanking the bartender, and he gives a good tip, and he goes to bed. That means goes to take rest for the next journey to begin. Right. That's the one narration that I have got, friends. Of course, so normally it's a kind of a long sessions that I take because it has to be, completely, I will say, embossed in the minds of the participants about the topic I'm addressing, and I'm trying to convey the messages. But then we would like to skip this entire discussion portion. But I will definitely like to ask you a very simple question. What is the inference that we can draw from this narration? Anybody of you can write quickly because there is a paucity of time. And I would love to, oh my God. Oh, sorry. Okay. I hope that was very quick. Nobody was able to understand what was the first message I wanted to give. But then anybody quickly can unmute also and say, do you feel that the bartender was lying? Do you feel that the bartender was making fool of both of the travelers and he was enjoying the conversation? Is it like that? You can unmute, you can say, and if there is...
No, it is not like that.
Okay, please contribute whatever, kind of Yeah.
Varmaji, see, it's a story once again which happened in Mahabharat. They talk about Duryodhana and Dharma.
Okay.
It's a thing. What exactly the thing is, how you look at the world is what mirrored back to you. And that's what is reality is all about. When I see everything going wrong, everything will look wrong. When I see everything good, everything will look good. That is what is the perception you need to be very clear about.
That's so nice of you. May I have a name, please? Because in the screen, I'm not able to visualize.
Suresh Ram.
Thank you so much, Sureshji. Had it been a physical session, I would have carried the entire Cadbury box, which I normally do in my trainings, and I would have given you as a gift. Yes, the first message, guys, is others respond to you in the same way you treat them. A very well-known, a very common thing. But then, yes, time and again, we have to reiterate and make it a kind of a habit in people. And that's the first part of the message I want to deliver in terms of the perception narrations that I brought. Let's quickly move on to the second one. And the second one is more interesting. Probably you might not have heard also before. This is a gentleman. He's a very elderly chap, a father of 2 kids, 1 beautiful daughter, a good housewife. And he has woken up in the morning. He is close to the window, as you can see, and he is open to take a fresh breath. He has opened the window, and what he finds is there is a beautiful garden out there, lush green grass, good sunny weather that particular day. It's a no work day, so it's a holiday, so he's quite relaxed. He thinks of having a couple of coffee, he wants to have coffee, and he brings the cup of coffee and sits close to the window. Out of the window, he's seeing a lot of things that I already told you. There is a road, there are people, there are travelers passing by and things like that. Suddenly, he spots one very peculiar person. Exactly like the way you are seeing on the screen, there is this young, dynamic chap, no t-shirts, only jeans. He's carrying some equipments to go to the seashore. He's on a cycle. He's trying to ride the cycle. And he's also doing something called as wheeling or skidding, on the cycles. And he's got a lot of tattoo on his body. And जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं कि मस्करी करना, मस्ती करना. He, along with his friends, are doing that. And, they are just, full of fun. They are kind of calling each other by their name and playing pranks and things like that. Now, this image, this particular, whatever, glimpse of that individual, the person was able to see. Of course, you are able to understand. He was able to gather perception, the topic of mind. Now, the other day, when he was going to work, he's again bald, that gentleman sitting. You have to help me out. You have to be very empathetic with me, because I was not able to make that same person sit on the train, on the metro. And hence there is a schematic representation of a bald person sitting, as you can see, and he's watching outside as the train leaves the station. And you will find that he suddenly spots that same boy, that same young chap who was shouting and, things like that, having tattoo on his mind and kind of spikes, hairs and all those things. And he finds that he is with a young girl. And he was talking on the platform and doing some kind of, masti and trying to be very cozy and comfortable with that girl in a very positive manner, of course. But then this again was observation. The same person observing the other same person through the window. Now, the next day, this bald man, while he's doing his daily routine, brushing the teeth, shaving, he suddenly recalls. And you know what happens? These thoughts are flowing in his mind like currents. What is happening to the society? He's asking and he's talking to himself. In our days, my God, we were so decent. We were so polite. We used to wear complete shirts. We used to wear complete clothes. We never used to be so rubbish. Look at the kind of tone these youngsters have adopted these days. My God, I just lose my temper. And that particular chap, which he's trying to remember, he must be a lafut. He and his friends must be doing tapu, he must be tapuri. They must be fighting, as you can see on the screen. These are the kind of images I portrayed. And they must be, also eve teasing and things like that. So these all thoughts are going on in his mind while he gets raised. And, after some time, he's on the breakfast table and his wife comes. Now, his wife is in a very different mood that day. And he asks her that, hey, what happened? Why are you looking a bit different? You are not looking very cool, calm, or happy. I mean, everything is all right. The wife says, you won't believe what happened yesterday. Yesterday evening, when I was going with our daughter, I was traveling to the market. There were some goons. They came close to us. We were trying to ignore them. But then these goons, they tried to snatch away the diamond necklace you have given your daughter on her 20th birthday. The man is flabbergasted. He is like taken aback, amazed completely. He says that, my God, the city has gone so bad. I mean, okay, let's go to the cops. Let's complain and things like that. He's about to rise. Suddenly, the wife keeps her hand on his hand and says that, oh my God, just give me a break. Let me drink water first. Let me tell you what exactly happened. So after this incident happened, we were actually panicked. But then thanks, so much thanks to a handful of some couple of smart guys who were there in that area, and they came rushing for helping us. And, one among them took the lead and handled the goons very well. And he, of course, he snatched away the necklace diamond back, and he also warned them the next time if some kind of goof up or such kind of incidences happen from them, they will be facing some really nice tunes. All the goons got completely scared because this chap and his friends were quite fearful. And I really don't think that those goons gonna ever come back to the city or our area next time. I'm so thankful to him, dear. And you know what? I today invited him on lunch. The man takes a breath of relief, saying that, oh my God, thank you. I thought that this city and this whole environment is so bad. I was thinking of shifting to a different city, get settled and retirement there, live the retired life. But then thanks so much. So there are good people also around. Oh, that's really lovely and really good gesture from your part that you have invited that boy and his friends. Guys, no prize for guessing that who the boy and the friends were. Yes, they were exactly the tattoo boy, the boy without t-shirt. I mean, the boys who have saved his wife and his daughter from the molestation or from the robbery, from that harsh incidents. They were these boys. So finally, the lunch is served and the boy comes along with his friends. And then this person, the father, is able to understand, he's able to realize that he is actually a young person who has graduated. And since he was a very good person in his academics and a very good orator, he has got selected through campus interview in a banking company in the same city. And since there were some couple of days in his joining, he wanted to live his bachelor, he wanted to live his young, careless life for a few days, and he was around the city and enjoying and things like that. So even the boy narrated the things that I've been roaming around the things. Now, one small doubt was in the father's mind, because now somehow or the other, the father and the mother are getting interested towards the personality of this new boy who has come in their life, who is so helping, who is so caring. And he says that, okay, don't mind, my dear son, but the other day I saw you, from a metro and the station and things like that. So he narrated the whole story. And I'm just trying to understand, though a personal question, but if you don't mind, he says that, oh my God, uncle, why are you, playing with words so much? So she is my cousin, and she is 1 year junior to me. And she always meets me because I share some good notes and I share some important, whatever inputs and updates are there, because soon she will be entering the final year of her graduation, and she has to appear examination. I being a class topper last year, I frequently meet her and give her some kind of information. And yesterday, when you must have seen, I was actually playing some prank with her because of the fact that it was her birthday yesterday. Oh my God, this man is completely convinced. He is completely happy. He's content. And you know what happens is, the very next day, the morning, when he's about to do the daily routine, brush and shaving, suddenly all those thoughts of that particular boy, now you see, has been replaced by these thoughts. Oh my God, these young chaps are really smart in the city. Look how they are independent. They are earning money. They are being very representative. They are confident. They can take up the world nicely. And they are very cooperative. See how nicely he was teaching his cousin sister. So see how nicely the city is coping up. And I think that this boy is a very good match for my daughter. End of narration 2. Discussions round. Well, again, I would not like to throw it out for discussions because it's going to engulf a lot of time. But then very interestedly, guys, I would like to tell you that what is the hidden message inside this story? And many of you, since you are quite experienced and professionals, must have gauged. Let me reiterate for you. The message is never hurry. Find out facts before you form a perception. So guys, this was my presentation for today. I am very much thankful. Anything remaining, please pinpoint, please ask. Anything that you are able to recall, I'm open for that. Because one signature message that is at the end of this presentation that I already promised you, I would like to take you up. So shall I proceed? Or any questions or anything that you want to ask me?
Abhishek, you got 4 minutes, so you choose.
I think, yeah, let's wind up. All right. So guys, you might remember, these are the 2 messages that I have delivered today. Hope that you have learned, we have remembered, and we will try to inculcate this in our daily life. Never hurry. Find out facts before you form a perception. Second is, others respond to you in the same way you treat them. And now we come to the beautiful picture of butterfly. Now, many things you can contribute, guys. Many things can come in your mind and you can articulate. But then a very less known fact is that butterflies aren't able to see their beautiful colors and wings. I don't know how many of you were knowing this. Butterfly can't see themselves. And here is the message I would like to convey from this. That is, if butterflies don't know the color of their wings, but humans know how beautiful it is, likewise, you don't know how good or bad you are, but other humans can know. Hence, work upon your perception. Thank you very much. This is Abhishek Verma signing off. Hope you liked the presentation. Yeah, Daniel ji, over to you.
Right. Thanks, Abhishek, for your simple and sweet message. You just conveyed 2 wonderful points, 2 good stories to tell us how. Be very careful before you go in to judge people. Never form opinions about people and box them throughout. People do change. Behaviors do change. Let's be open to that. Thank you so much for these inputs, Abhishek. We really appreciate you coming on this platform and making this platform stronger. Continue to be here, offer your knowledge to the platform, and ensure you can do your bit in helping people change their perceptions, which is so very important. And you can make a big difference as you've been doing all along. Wish
So
you all.
hope you like my perception.
Oh yeah, yeah, we did. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'd like you to stop your screen share.
Sure, sure.
Right. Okay, now we have the audience poll that will be on the screen. Kindly go ahead and poll. Your screen share, you can see.
Poll is launched. Again, it's on a scale of 1 to 10. If you feel it is the best in one particular criteria, vote 10. 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. So criteria, content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. One more minute to go. Another 10 seconds, last 10 seconds, 5 seconds. And the poll is ended. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Danny, over to you. You're muted, Danny.
Okay, all right. So thanks a lot, Abhishek, once again for your good presentation and being part of this platform. Okay, truly we are creating world-class presenters and trainers. I think the screen is still okay. I think the screen has to become better. Is this okay? Right. So as we have been telling you time and again, we have not listened to any presentations of anybody. We are just listening to everybody the first time, and everybody is doing a great work in conveying a meaning. Yeah, we are not trying to sell anything, but we are trying to empower people, and that's what this platform is all about. Well, there's lots of questions that's coming up as to what this Pay What You Want program is all about. And I see a dynamic audience because people come in and people leave. So we also know that this video that is being played for 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes is also a bit short. So you might miss out on salient features that Mr. Arun Subramaniam is trying to say. So many people are asking about the dates, which has also come on the chat. The program is on April 25th. It's a Sunday. We have got two sessions of it. 2 sessions means 2 parts. The reason is that instead of having a 4-hour together, we will have 2 parts from, it's going to be from 10:30 to 12:30, then 2 to 4. So therefore, in this time, you're going to get lots of inputs on persuasion, the science of shared solution, a very, very important subject, because manipulating, coercing, and exploiting people is not leadership. Ability to persuade is very important. And once you do that, there is a buy-in from people. There's a willing cooperation. So therefore, you're not stressed and people are not stressed, and everything goes in a very, very organized and harmonious manner. So this is a very important program. I wish and urge that you come in. And as I told you, you coming in, there is 2 clear benefits that you're going to get. One is that you're going to get the power to persuade people and help them to buy in what you want to say. People should want to do what you want them to do and not what you compel them to do. A very important trait. And with Mr. Arun Subramaniam's 4 decades of experience, sure, it's going to be a massive program, because having been through many of his program, every word, every minute is wonderful. There's no dull moment at all. So for the benefit of people who joined in and for the benefit of people who might have missed out on some salient points, I would like Durga Prasad to play that 4.5-minute video once again. Kindly go through it and listen to it. You get more insights into the same thing that you're seeing for the 3rd time.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children, peer, subordinate, or even your boss, friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the #1 leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. 2 psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop, Who Are You Talking To? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come, friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right. So the details are there. You can just go through that. As I told you, the contribution that you're doing goes towards building a very, very powerful organization to create trainers who can empower the world. The power of the trainer is that one empowered person is good enough to empower a whole lot of people, a community in itself. So therefore, we are in a very noble profession of trainers, and many of the trainers need support and need guidance. And this platform is certainly providing that. So therefore, the date's also told to you, and the time of the program is also told to you. Kindly be part of it and contribute and make a difference. Pay what you want. is the message. Well, it's nice that we heard two good talks, one on emotional intelligence, where we were told what goes around comes around and you need to relate with people through the heart by Mr. Kabra. And then we had Mr. Verma talk about perceptions and never ever judge a person because life is dynamic and things are dynamic. And now we have the third speaker of this day, a person who is a very committed person, who is going to talk about a very important subject, golden moments of life, golden jubilee year of war. Probably a person who is young at heart, who is always willing to learn, always willing to contribute. And today, if we people are safe in our air-conditioned room, sitting on a webinar and getting empowered, we must also know there are lots of people out there guarding our country, and therefore we are having this privilege. So this person belongs to that community of people who are giving their life, their comfort, and guarding this land. A wonderful person indeed, and we with this wisdom is going to share with us the golden jubilee year of war, golden moments of life. He is the ex-Indian Navy sailor and an IATD certified trainer and certified counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, I have immense pleasure, and please join me in welcoming the third speaker, Mr. Narendra Nayak. Yes, Mr. Nayak.
Thank you, Daniel, for this wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 5-10 years back, if somebody had told me that I am going to speak about the war, Navy life, I would have laughed at you because that would have been the biggest joke. Because 5-10 years, up till 2 years back, I feel, I felt very insulted when somebody said I am ex-serviceman. There was a reason for that. But I'll go back to that afterward. But today, whole nation is celebrating the victory of 1971 war against Pakistan to liberate Bangladesh. Completing 50, we are running through 50th year. And in the right time, my life took a drastic change. I changed my thinking about my life and even my past life. So here I am going to share with you the active experience of the war where I was actively participating. Before going into details of war and Navy, let me share my screen and explain to you my screen. My subject is already known. So golden jubilee year of war and golden moments of my life during that war. I am Narendra Nayak. I was born on 28/11/1950 in a small village near Gadag called Gajendragad. My childhood happened in Bangalore only, where my schooling and everything was done. And this is the earliest photo of mine I could lay my hands on. This right side photo, actually, I thought it was my sister's photo till I came to high school. Then only I came to know that it is my photo. And this was taken on the day my, what they call first haircut was done. I was only 2.5 years old. Then my schooling started in Bangalore, in a school in Bangalore South called Rashtriya Vidyalaya, where I joined. And my schooling had lots of problems because I was a very slow learner. Nothing went into my head. I had a lot of difficulties beatings from both at school and at home. And I was also the second son, third sibling out of 7 siblings. My elder brother was good in studies, so I was always compared and I was not good, and a lot of beatings I used to take. So, but wherever the chance came, I tried to excel myself. When I was in high school, I became the first sergeant in the Air Wing NCC that newly started in our school. I was the first band team where I was a side drummer. Whenever I got an opportunity, I was good in singing, so I used to sing and make myself presence felt. So I was always into that mode, that try to excel wherever it is possible. That was my schooling. But after high school, it was very, very difficult for me. So I told my father also, but I will not be able to take a further study because I cannot, my mathematics was very, very low and I couldn't, with great difficulty I passed. So I was very, very below average student. But he insisted that I should join diploma and I joined diploma. So you know the result, what can happen. So I said this education is not my cup of tea. So I wanted to do something else. I didn't know what to do. During that time, see, I went for a movie. And in a new Indian news review, no, earlier they used to show in movie, Indian news review, all news happenings in the country. In that one, there was a Navy clip was there where I saw my childhood friend in that clipping. So he was living next to our house. So, and after a few days, I met him. And I also met another friend. Both had joined Navy. And this man gave the hint, how to join Navy, how to ask what branch you should select. So he told, unless you get electrical branch, don't join Navy. Electrical is the only king branch you can have a good life. So you try for electrical branch only. Then I tried and I got selected. I demanded electrical branch and I got it. And I got it and I joined Navy on the 10th of January 1969. And I landed in the training base. It is INS Kunjali in Colaba, Bombay. And I was shocked to know that that was the detention quarter base. That was a naval jail where we were trained for basic training. So basic training was very, very tough. For 3 months only, we learned a lot. Civilian life was converted, they transformed the civilian to the different person. Physical exercise was the main thing. And here you are seeing, this was a photo was taken on the day of my passing out from Kunjali. And this dress is very unique. This is an old dress actually. This dress is very unique and it is called 6A dress. You will not believe you need 2 people's assistance to wear this dress. And there are so many attachments which you have to make it perfect wear. And it is a white dress. It should not spoil when you are going for a parade. So that type of dress, this is the first photo I took after joining Navy. Then after passing out, we had some demonstration parades like, you can see me here. This is me. And after that, we had a group photo taken of each class. We were about 240 people in that batch. That was the biggest batch. And these are all the officers in charge of training. And he is our instructor for the class. and he is our chief instructor. These two are training in charges. He is Captain Randhawa, and he was captain of INS Punjali, and this is Commander Executive Officer of Punjali. And you will find me here standing. So after this training, we landed in Valsura, INS Valsura. It is in Jamnagar. That is our electrical base where electrician training is given. There I got trained 6 months for electrical things to know about ship, what sort of electrical power will be there, how to maintain, what all need to be maintained. Everything was taught. And there are special equipment like gyro compass and echo sounders, plotters, everything. So everything was taught in that 6 months, and we were qualified electricians. From after becoming qualified, then we were posted to ship. This is the first ship of mine. This is a Hunt class destroyer, INS Ganga, which was placed in Southern Command, that is in Cochin. This is the very, very, very toughest ship, toughest life on board this ship. It was an old ship. It was commissioned in somewhere 1927, and I joined in 1969 November. But whatever life gave, I enjoyed it. I adjusted. There were 140 people. My mess used to be here in this under this deck, and these are all the guns, 4-inch guns, one gun in the front and one gun in the forward portion of the ship, and this is one anti-aircraft gun. This is a Hunt class destroyer. Few years first year I enjoyed, because that 69 we had a first president's review. V.V. Giri was president, and we had a president review and beautiful sailing experience. I had a lot of sailing. We did exercises and other things. I enjoyed sailing, unless it was in June, July. June, July sea will be very rough. First experience was a bit strange, but after that I got used to it.
No sound.
No, sir.
No, I think it's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Naik.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
And this is our staff. When I became senior, you will find me here. This is me. This is our staff. And that when I was in that ship for 2.5 years, I had a lot of experience. Experience in the sense, lot of adventures, things happened, few nasty accidents happened. I lost one of my very good close friend, and he was also a very, very good singer. So many things happened when I was on board the ship. And the biggest thing that happened was 1971 war. How it happened? This suddenly on 1st of
Sir, can't hear, sir.
My voice is okay.
Can't hear.
No, everything
please
is fine.
check your audio, sir. Check your mic.
Check your audio, please. Check your audio, please. So,
Individual problem. Yeah.
So suddenly on 1st of December, a sailing order came. Those who had gone out, those who were family men were called back on board ship, and suddenly a sailing order was issued. One more thing I want to tell you is we need 4 hours to make this ship move, because we have to flash up the boiler. So that takes a lot of time. In that 4 hours time, everybody was called back on ship, and there was a sailing order. We didn't know where we were going. So we just sailed off Cochin. And we were in an open sea. By evening, we had a clear lower deck. Clear lower deck means announcement will be made. So everybody down the deck has to come up on upper deck and come to the front side of the ship and assemble there, and whatever announcement they will make it. So the captain came and he announced that they are in war. Everybody was shocked. We had expected something strange is going to happen. And I told we were in war. Surprisingly, few of the family men, uh, started crying also. They were worried. They were newly married. They are in war. They don't know what will happen. So they were worried. And we, the youngsters, I was only 21-year-old that time. We were excited. Few of my batchmates and few of my department people, we were really excited. And captain told that we are in war and already know that our ship is very old. Our radar or communication equipments are also not to the level of new ships. So I request everybody to be alert, watchful around what is in the open sea, especially during night time. You see any light or anything, you have to inform the bridge. Bridge means this is the top portion of the ship where duty people will be there. Wheelhouse it is there. So he requested that. So we were very excited. And very next day, we had we had an action station. Action station means we are in actual war. Means something is going to happen. So everybody will be allotted certain places, every department guy will be there in that group. Every 5-6 group in different areas of ship, different areas where lifeboats will be there. And those areas, we have to assemble and we have to be very watchful. If any action takes place, we have to safeguard the equipments and other things there. That is called action station, and it was called out. So everybody was worried, but there was no communication. We didn't know what is happening, but we were in action station. My action station used to be somewhere here. So that is called gear room. So steering motor starters were there. So I had to man that one. So we didn't know what was happening. Nearly 1.5 hours, it was very tense moment in our life. So 10:30 to 11:30, 12 o'clock, we were in action station. We didn't know what is happening. And suddenly 2 depth charges, you may not be able to see clearly here. Here, there is a stand and some metal drums like it. That is one ammunition actually. There will be detonators in the metal body. So there will be magnets. So that will be thrown into the water. And when it goes in contact with any metal like submarine and other things, it will get ignited and it will explode and it will destroy the submarine. That is the duty of that depth charge. So it was fired, two depth charges were fired. Fired in the sense it was dropped into the sea. That sound we could hear. But we didn't know what is happening again. 12 o'clock, action station was called off. Nothing happened. Action station was called off. A petty officer, a junior commissioned officer, who was in charge of echo sounder and plotting. That is an equipment, they will leave the transducer under the sea and echoes will come. If there is any disturbance, like submarine moving or any vibrations are felt, that will be recorded in the plotter. He brought a plotter sheet to outside and he was crying. He told, what a chance we had. We traced the submarine. We delayed firing the depth charge just by 2-3 minutes and we missed the submarine. As nothing happened, everybody laughed at him. Everybody said, it may not be submarine. That's why we were made to sit in an action station for 2 hours and nothing happened. And it may not be submarine, it may be a big fish because that vibration, you must have felt it. He told, no, submarine was there. But it was not there, so nothing happened. We just forgot it. On 4th, friends, we received a message, signal, that PNS Ghazi, a Pakistan submarine, sunk. I don't know. There is a lot of stories behind that. Sunk mysteriously off Visakhapatnam. PNS Ghazi was sunk of Vishakhapatnam. That news came to our ship. You just can't imagine what was the mental state of all the people on board ship. That radar plotter, a petty officer, told, "This is what I told you. This is the submarine which we had chased. How badly we missed. If we had sunk that submarine, our whole ship's company would have been, rewarded. We would have got additional medals, additional laurels like that." He was crying, and we also felt it. A chill went in through our spine. Yes, we missed the submarine. We escaped also. That was the condition. Then nothing happened for 2 days. We used to come back to Cochin for after 4 hours and take the fuel and go back again. 2 times it happened. One time we came and went back. On 7th, we were just, I was not on duty. So this is actually engine room. This is engine room. And on top deck, there is some where we can sit. Vegetable locker and all is there. So on that we can sit. So we were sitting there with few of our friends. And suddenly one fellow told, "Can you see some light in the distance?" I saw, and yes, very distant, very foggy and light. I can see that light. Then suddenly we ran to bridge and we told the duty officer that there is light. Whole Indian waters was out of bounds for all movements. No merchant ship, nothing, no vessel can move. So we were guarding that actually. We were guarding that moment, and also few merchant ships were there in Sri Lanka with ammunition which was to be delivered to Bangladesh, Pakistan's ammunition. We wanted to stop that one. So we were there. Now what happened? This light was really scary. So immediately our officer, he ordered the signalman to do the signaling through lights we do. So he signaled asking, "Who are you?" No answer. Then he called the commanding officer. He came and he changed the course of the ship and started moving towards that light. We had gone half the distance, means it was about 5 to 7 kilometers away. And our CO asked the signalman to signal once again. Keep on asking, "Who are you?" Then by the time we had gone little closer. At one point of time, from that vessel, we knew that there is a vessel now. From that vessel, that ship, a huge, about 6 feet diameter arc light, that is the brightest light, white light. He switched on, he opened the shutter for a few seconds and closed. When he opened, our ship, a tiny ship, was a target like anything. And what we could see, about 7-8 people only out of 140, 7-8 people only could see, was a very, very, very huge aircraft carrier. I didn't see any such carrier afterwards. Very huge aircraft carrier and 2 more ships, small frigate-like ship, following it. Then we got our commanding officer asked the headquarters what to do. Then they told, "Leave it and just move away from there." The next day, we came to know that US Enterprise, an aircraft carrier with 3 more frigates, is in Indian waters. So we had a golden opportunity to see the 7th Fleet. Only we 10 people or 7 people have seen. Nobody has seen. That was the rarest thing that happened. Then we came back two times. We came back for fueling and went back. 3 ships were there. Our same class ships were there, Ganga, Godavari and Gomati. So in turn, we were changing our duty. Second time we had come for fueling. That was on 9th. That was the black day for Indian Navy, and that 71 war. If that thing had not happened, it was a spotless victory for Indian Navy. But that day, off Gujarat coast, off Karachi, our ship, INS Kukri, anti-submarine frigate, was sunk by a Pakistan submarine. 69 we passed out, and 71 I lost 3-4 very, very close friends in that ship. About 100 people died. 68 somehow survived, but 100 people died. Even my team photo, what I have shown, this person's brother died in that ship. He is Parminder Singh. So his brother died. So many people lost life. That was the only backmark. We all felt very, very bad. But it happened. Then we also had some exercises happening when we were in war. One of our officers had to be shifted to another ship. So they couldn't wait to go back and do it. So this exercise we call jack stay. This is my ship actually, this frameware what you see. And from our ship, this man is going to INS Godavari. This is the one exercise we did during the war. That was also one of its kind. So taking photo was very, very difficult those days, you know. So somehow I got this photo. After this war experience, yes, so many incidents and accidents, everything happened. In 1972 March, I left that ship and went to our headquarters in Bombay. And after that, I served on board one submarine mothership for 7-8 months. Then I went to INS Valsura back for a advancement training. After training, I was posted in INS Valsura only. There I took over powerhouse as an in charge. So this is me in a winter uniform. 6 months we will be wearing this in uniform, and then 6 months we will be wearing a cotton uniform. He was our senior who got transferred, so I took over the powerhouse. We had our own powerhouse system, and this is the staff I had to maintain. This is the Navy life I had. And biggest thing I wanted to share was this war. I told you I was ashamed of called ex-serviceman. And today I am sharing this excitingly. I am excited. Why? Because I changed my way of thinking. I changed the way I looked at my life, past life also, even Navy life also. When I looked back, especially after doing this IITD training, and few of my colleagues, my friends, I will stop sharing for a short period because I have got something to show you also. So I'll stop share and talk to you. Please wait for a minute. So after IITD, few of my friends, well-wishers, they told that, sir, you have got a lot of experience. You have to share your experience through your presentations. We all need it. Then I told, yes, I will do it. Then I started looking back at my life, what it can teach me, what it taught me, and what it can give as a teaching to my friends or to the public. Then when I started looking, I came across, 2-3 things which, really shocked me. First thing, I should feel proud about myself for having served the country from the tender age of 18 to 28. Why? Because those who have joined Navy after 71 December, that is from 72 till date, they don't have the medals which I have. Those who are joined before 71 and left after 71, only those people have the medals. Last 40 to 43, 40 plus years, people who have served in Navy, they haven't got the medal. And how many may be surviving today? And I thank the Almighty for keeping me alive, to be in this beautiful year, 50th year of the victory. Friends, what I could gain was today, I feel very proudly, I will show you. This is the medal I got. 3 medals. One with a national flag sign is there, that is 25th year of independence. Next one is Sangram medal, war medal. Next to that star is there, that indicates the western sector where we fought the war. With kind permission, today I am so excited. With all your kind permission, if you permit me, I want to wear this medal in front of you. This is the second opportunity I am getting to express this. Thank you very much. 1 minute. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
This experience changed. Why I am excited? Because this is the thing. Even after so much of insult, why I felt bad? Let me explain to you. Why I felt bad? Because soon after leaving Navy, I got married and I was without job, and then I got a job in HMT watch factory for Tumkur, very prestigious factory. That was the world's biggest factory where 2 million watches were produced that in under one roof. In collaboration with Citizen, I worked in the project stage. I joined and I never bothered. I got the job, that was sufficient. So I worked for 1 year. And later I realized I was appointed in the cadre, in the lowest cadre, and in the cadre of sweepers and sanitary helpers. I was appointed in that cadre. I felt insulted and I felt very, very bad. I fought for my grade. I fought nearly 2 years and I really felt humiliated that time. If anybody said ex-serviceman, I used to say, what it has given me. Even this medal, what I proudly won today, I never bothered to keep it. It was my wife who felt proud, and the ribbon and everything had gone. So she took that medals and put it in her jewelry box and kept it. 2 years back, when I looked at it in a different way and I was searching for it, and then she gave me. And recently, I got it ribboned again to wear it. That is the reason I was not feeling comfortable. But when I got these 2-3 statistics, I am the very, very raised, very few thousand may be alive today. Out of 1.5 billion people, few thousands are alive, and I am one among them. That is the thing which has propelled me actually. That has changed the whole perception of my life itself. That's what happens, friends. When you look at things in a different way, the thing you look at will change. It will change. When you are in problem also, if you look at only problem, that looks very heavy. So you look at that problem in a different angle, you will find the solution, and that itself will change the life.
Thank you, Mr. Narendra. Thank you, Mr. Narendra. I really love your presentation. I'm very sorry to interrupt you. I know it's a great emotional moment. we people are safe conducting a program like this, it's only because of you. I don't know whether my salute is right. Is this the way? How do we do it?
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. You need a standing ovation from everybody. It was a heartfelt moment, certainly a golden moment indeed, very nostalgic. We could see the emotions that you got towards the country, towards the service. We are very, very indebted to you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for honoring the platform. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you
And
all,
we
friends.
look
Thank
forward
you.
to your presentation in the PTS. You have been a great veteran of PTS. You have been attending all the sessions, and this golden moment you should continue sharing in the PTS platform as well, sir. Right, so
Always.
continue doing service. We really love your service, love your dedication, love your emotion, sir. May we have many more people like you who have served for this nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I couldn't go through last two.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we will certainly have it sometime going forward. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Like
Thank
if you've
you.
got a Sundays free, we'll certainly have it those days.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you so much. Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Love
much.
you
It's
all.
very emotional. It's very emotional.
Namaste.
Yeah, we can understand the emotions of it. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Right. Now, friends, as we have been following this, we'd like to DP to this Durga Prasad to put the audience poll on the screen, please.
Yes, friends, the poll has been launched for Mr. Narendra. Content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. Go ahead and cast your votes. 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest you feel for the content, likewise for all the other criteria. If you don't find any criteria, please scroll down, you will find all the 5. We've got another minute to go. Another 30 seconds. Ten seconds more, go fast. And the poll is ending now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Narendra Nayak. It's certainly wonderful. It's always a pleasure having you on stage with us. I've seen you in so many platforms of PTS, and you've been really a great participant. You always are the first one to be part of it, and we need the discipline that you have and the dedication that you have for the motherland. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot once again. I've got no words to appreciate what you have done to our platform. Thank you so much. We are really indebted to you, and people like you are serving this nation. Thank you so much. Well, friends, I'm not tired and fed up of asking you to support this platform. The reason being, when the cause is noble, there's nothing wrong in asking. That's what they say. When something is good, show it, they say. When you've got an achievement, blow your trumpet, we say. So therefore, once again, I urge you all to support this platform. The reason being, we are calling it as a world-class trainer platform. That means we want to honor people world-class awards, and that costs us a lot of money. So your budget is close to 6 lakh rupee, and we really want to honor the winners. And no participant is going to shell a paisa for this program. No panelist is going to spend. If at all you're spending on pay what you want, it's only because that you are going to benefit from a program which is about 12,000 rupees, and you're going to pay what you want And that's a very good opportunity. And I can tell you, we are looking at 1,000 people to attend the program. So we are really not telling you talking big. We want to make it big. We want every platform of ours to have 500 to 1,000 people attending our webinars, be it free webinar or paid webinar. And we intend to develop this community. So we need your support to ensure on 25th of April, we have 1,000 people in, and each one of us can make it happen. Pay what you want. So in order to reiterate that fact, I would request Mr. Durga Prasad to kindly play the video once again.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children, peer, subordinate, or even your boss, friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the #1 leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop, Who Are You Talking To? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come, friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right, friends, you'll be having the link. Kindly register yourself, pay what you want to pay, donate, be there, and more importantly, you're also getting something in return to attend the workshop, a 4-hour workshop on April 25th, morning 10:30 to 12:30 and 2 to 4. And I can bet that you will go back saying, it certainly is a memorable moment. I can tell you that much. I can guarantee you with the commitment of Mr. Arun Subramaniam in wanting to make this platform good and giving the best, it's going to happen. So let's make it happen. And I look forward to everybody joining and spreading the message and get 1,000 people on the platform. As we said, every program of ours should have 1,000 people coming in. That's also our target. And this is going to provide people with opportunity to showcase their expertise as well. And to get 1,000 odd people on a platform, it takes about few thousands of rupees. Let me tell you that. I'm into training. I'm into doing this marketing to get people for my programs. And I understand how much of thousands we need to spend to get 50 people to attend an online program. But here it's all provided by TTBC for you. Kindly avail this opportunity. Make this platform big so that each one of us can really be big. Thank you. And now, friends, we are getting into the fourth speaker presenter. A very, very important topic, a very interesting topic. It talks about importance of movement for human beings. Well, a very important element, the reason being, Homo sapiens of the 21st century are a species with primitive design, but living in a digital world. What is the importance of this design? Why hasn't man evolved? Let's join the speaker who is going to throw a lot of light on this importance of human movement. And I'm sure this is going to be a 30-minute of enrichment. And we have got another presenter. And I want you all to stay till the end, till the time we say good night, and honor the platform and not leave in between. I certainly appreciate you for that and sincerely expect you to stay on. So our speaker has got a great profile, an educator, a teacher, trainer, 22 years school leader, author and founder of Let's Read program, expert speaker on parenting talk show on Channel Win. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my immense pleasure and privilege to welcome and introduce the speaker to you. Let's welcome Mrs. Asma Zaidi. Over to you, Asma.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, very much loud and clear.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Do I have the permission to share the screen?
Yes.
I don't have it yet. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you so much to the management of this program for giving us this wonderful opportunity. I'm just waiting for my screen sharing rights so that I can start the presentation. Can you please share it to Asma Zaidi, the screen sharing rights?
Sorry, Mr. Mohan has some technical issues. He's not able to do it. He's trying to transfer the host to me. I'll do it.
Okay. Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, good.
Right, so let's dive into the topic for today. It is the importance of movement, and I'm sure all of you are wondering why it's such an important topic. But I think with everything that I'm seeing as an educator and over the past few years with what I've seen in the children as a counselor, what I've seen with families, I think movement is something that we take for granted, and it is something that is much, much more than what comes to your mind superficially. So before I start, I'd like to say that I want you all to participate in the presentation, and I would love for you to write your answers in the chat. I will see the chat regularly. So when I'm asking a question, please don't on your mic, but you can give me the answers in the chat, and I want you to interact with me through that. So when I say movement, what comes to your mind? Can you write it in the chat window, please? What comes to your mind very quickly? What comes to your mind when you say movement, right? Action, travel, body, teaching kids, progress, yes. Very out of the box ideas, waves, work, yes. Change, fantastic. So when we're talking about life, when I'm talking about things around us, what do we think of when we say movement? And we generally think of, for example, animals, jogging, exercise, plants, growth, water. Somebody said waves. And yes, that's exactly what we think of. These are the few things which come to our mind when we say movement. So today we're going to talk about a little more in detail about what I personally feel movement is all about. And it is like an in-depth spiritual understanding of movement. And I want you to link it. I want all the participants to get an idea of what the importance, the gravity, the essence of what I'm trying to say, and relate it to the pandemic world. So we're going to try and make a connection between the macro and the microcosm. And we're going to talk about movement of man and what is the vestibular organ. I hope I'm going to enlighten a few of you and give you a few ideas that you have never heard of before, and what happens when we don't move and how it is connected to learning and life. So let's look at the microcosm, right? When we look at the grandeur of the universe, it's all about movement, right? Look at the planets, look at the satellites, look at the stars, look at the earth, the way it is moving, and things which are moving. When we think of movement, we actually think, you know, all the answers that you shared on the chat window, we're actually talking of things which are directly into us. Sometimes we don't look at the bigger picture. We don't look beyond ourselves. We don't look beyond our bodies, beyond our environment. So if you look up into the sky on a night or maybe even in the day, you look up and you see things around you, everything is moving. The planets, the stars, the heavenly bodies, the satellites, the asteroids, the air, the wind, the convention currents, the water, the cycle of life and death, everything is moving. The world, the planet itself is moving. We don't feel the planet moving because it's too huge and we are too small and we are on it. But when you look at the grandeur of the universe and the movement in the universe, you come to realize, you think, there are two aspects to your life. One is the physical being that we are in, and there is a spiritual part that we all are conscious of. Religion doesn't come into play, but just the spiritual aspect of where we are in life and in space. And when we think of that, when we think of the planets, when we think of the movement, when we think of the earth, we feel that we are tiny things in a grand scheme of things, right? And so when you talk of movement, for me, when I talk of movement, it is not something which is just connected to my physical being. I feel it is connected to the entire universe. It's a connection that you have with the universe all around you. And it takes you to deeper variety of levels, right? My internet is showing instability. Can everybody hear me, please? Can you write on the chat window?
Yeah, you're clear. Absolutely.
All right, great. So the universe, the planet, everything connects us to things which happen on the planet, right? The life that we have on the planet, the people that we have on the planet. It connects us to, when you look at the planet moving, you think of the moon, you think of the sun, you think of the day and night, you think of seasons, right? That is movement. It is movement of the earth, movement of the moon, movement of the sun. And through these movements, through the seasons, our connection with us as human beings. We have our festivals connected to it. We have our occasions connected to it. We have birth connected to it. We have our food connected to it, right? All the food that we eat, the things which go in and come out, the things which give birth and die, everything is in a cycle and everything is kind of moving. And if you can get this connection of things which are moving in the microcosm and in the macrocosm, you will start understanding the grandeur of things and start understanding the magnanimity of the word movement. So here I would like to stop you for a second and make you think, what would happen if all this grandeur, if things in the macrocosm stop moving? What would happen if the planet stopped moving? What would happen if the sun stopped moving? What would happen if the stars stopped moving? And when I say movement, I don't just mean movement around something like the planets. When I say the sun moving, I'm talking about the rays that come out. I'm talking about the light that moves. I'm talking of, the warmth, the air, the heat that comes out. What's going to happen if things stop moving? And let's not go to such grandeur. Let's talk of simpler things that we are able to answer. Let's take the river for an example. What would happen if a river stops moving? Can you write in the chat window? I wish I could talk to you as if you were my audience, but if you can write in the chat window, what would happen if the river stopped moving? What would happen if the water stopped moving? Right? Think, what would happen to the things inside the river? Would it be the same? Stagnation, life would come to a standstill, yes. There would be moss, there would be a lot of rotting, there would be dead fish. The water that gives life would turn into poison, right? So that means that life itself is connected to movement, right? The water that you are connecting to, if it stops, when it stops moving, the life stops, it starts rotting, the fish start rotting, the life changes, moss starts growing on it, decay starts happening, right? And this same kind of movement can be connected within us. If you look at this slide, you will look at things, if you look at our body, there are multiple things which are happening inside our system. Take a look at the slide, pause and wonder. How many things are moving inside our body? The fluids, the lymphatic system, the cerebrospinal fluids, the nutrients, the food that we eat, the blood that flows, everything is in motion, everything is in movement. Whether you go from the macro body to the tiny cells inside your system, and you take a look at the slide on your right, at the diagram on your right, you can see movement of materials and particles, whether it's air or oxygen or nutrients, in and out of the cell. So movement is happening at cellular level. And as educated people, we know that movements happen even at the atomic level, right? So when all this movement is happening, there's movement inside the body, there's movement even inside the brain. Everything that every time your body moves, the brain kind of sends signals because it is connected to your body, and the brain moves and the brain expands, right? So in a way, everything that you are doing, everything that you're learning is connected to your brain, and the brain is constantly learning through the movement that you have in your hands and through the movement that you do in your legs. It learns what to do and what not to do. And in the process, it expands and it grows. So from your body, from your growth, to your mind, to your brain, everything is connected to movement. And if you can pause over here, you can pause and you can think about the grandeur of the universe and your place in it. If you can think how the air that is around us, the warmth that is around us, the water that is around us is connected and is a part of our body and is a part of our system, right? And we are connected to the universe in ways that are very mysterious and enigmatic. The movement of planets, suns, wind, water, life and death, everything is, if you think about it, connected to movement, right? And it constantly changes us in terms of who we are, what our thought process is, in terms of our growth, in terms of our perspectives, and the change that we feel inside our body is the only thing that is constant in a way, right? So when you're talking about your life and your body, where exactly does this movement start? Actually, it starts even before birth. It starts before conception. So for the sake of simplicity, let's say from the time of conception to when the fetus is born, the process of birth itself, everything is connected to movement. The baby inside the womb moves. If it doesn't move, there is no life. And in this movement, there is a mystery, there is nature, there is learning. For scientists now know that if there was no movement, then the body wouldn't grow. So, friends, our body is built to move in three-dimensional space. It is designed to move in three-dimensional space. And as we go ahead, I'd like to talk to you about an organ that is formed inside the fetus when the fetus is 4 weeks old. It is called the vestibular organ, and it plays a very vital role in the movement of our bodies. So this vestibular system is found in our ears, and it has a tiny amount of cerebrospinal fluid that moves in the cochlea and moves in the ears. And how many of you, I will pause here and ask you a question. How many of you have faced vertigo? How many of you are sick when you travel in the car? How many of you, feel dizzy? Anybody here who feels dizzy or has vertigo? Yes? Girija,
And
you,
even,
anybody else?
listeners should be
I recovered from vertigo.
Please don't speak. You can chat right in the chat window. Right? So it is amazing that such a small fluid inside our ears is connected to movement. And this movement after birth of a little infant has to be there for the body to function well, right? If it is not there, then the baby goes through a lot of trauma and hinders his learning. So this little system, this vestibular system is has to be constantly activated. The loops that you see, the fluid should constantly be liquid and should be moving in these small, tiny tubes. It seems like such a micro thing, but actually it creates such havoc if it solidifies, and if it troubles you, you cannot stand straight, right? So remember how in the olden days, the midwives and the people used to have children in a small jhula. They used to tie a dupatta and the children would swing on it. Yeah, remember those things? Have you seen it in movies, even if you haven't done it with your own children? If you think of the merry-go-rounds that used to be there in the playgrounds, and they are extinct now. I hardly see any merry-go-rounds anywhere. Remember in your childhood how many swings there would be in the parks? And now I hardly see swings when I go outside into the garden. All these things, the swings, the cradle, the movement of the baby to and fro, these things activated the vestibular system. And they've played a very, very vital role in activating the vestibular system. But now when there is no activation of the vestibular system, it sort of deactivates, doesn't die, but becomes dormant and creates havoc in your body. So let's pause for a second again and think about the design of man. Look at the primitive man and look at the modern man. His clothes are different, but what about his body? Is the body of man different from the body of modern man? Most of the birds and animals and trees and sparrows and insects and fish have evolved over time. What about man? Has man evolved? What has evolved? I think the only thing that we learn about in biology class is your appendix. And apart from that, nothing has really changed. He still has 2 legs, 2 hands, 1 head, a neck, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, same way, same body, same movement. The design of man has been for an environment where he has to move, where he has to crawl, where he has to climb, where he has to swim, where he has to thrive. So it is amazing that the design of man has not changed, but the environment in which we live in has changed a lot. And this environment is what causes restrictions on movement because of our lifestyle, because of the way we live. So there are three things which are very important in this design of man. One is movement, one is the rhythm, the internal rhythm of your body and the external rhythm of the universe that you live in, the environment that you live in, and the rhythm and movement of breathing that you have to be conscious about, which most people are not, right? So everything that you do, from climbing to swimming to crawling to climbing walls and walking and running, is connected to movement, and it is extremely important for the development and growth of human beings. And if this doesn't happen, then there is a lot of problem. And children these days and adults also are suffering quite a lot, right? So everything that we know is connected to movement. All learning is connected to movement. And we have something called the midline. This is your vertical midline, and there is across your belly, there is a horizontal midline. So it's very important for your midlines to cross, for them to go from left to right and from right to left. And it is this crossing of the midlines that is so important for the social emotional development of yourself. So crossing the midline is the key for physical and emotional development as well. Did you know that it was important for emotional development? It is the key for the development of your brain, for using the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, for using your brain completely, for memory, for retention, for learning. So your movement, the movement of your body, is constantly linked to the learning that you have. So, or if I should reverse this, I would say the learning that you have is linked to the movement that you do. Now think of the children in your lives, think of the children at home, think of children in school, think of the people at home, even if it is the elderly people, and think of how restricted their life has become and how restricted their movement has become, right? And in this design of man, if you look at schools, if you look at our world, we have replaced nature with artificial things. Instead of climbing hills and mountains in the concrete jungle that we live in, we have made climbing walls. Instead of climbing trees, we have put playgrounds. Instead of stepping on stones and jumping across the river, we have put tumblers and plastic. Instead of hopping and skipping and swimming in the mud, swimming in the pool, swimming in a pond, we have swimming pools. We have artificial swimming pools. So because movement is important and educators know that movement is important, we have created artificial spaces and taken away the natural space for movement, which is perfectly fine as long as movement does take place. Of course, we cannot all live in places of natural beauty, right? So when you don't have, the mountain, you bring the mountain to you, right? So when we don't have that natural space to explore, we create artificial means for movement in the modern world, which is extremely important. And so I hope that I have established that not just on a physical level, on a spiritual level and physical level, movement is extremely important. And it is impossible to educate the mind without involving the body. Learning is thinking and movement is integrated with it. Whether you talk of cognitive development or you talk of language development or you talk of sensorial or social emotional development, everything is linked to movement. So I will again pause here and get you to think, what happens to a child who is, say, who is a perfectly normal child but has fractured his leg? What will happen to that child? When you fracture a leg, what happens to you? You are restricted, your movement is restricted, you're on a wheelchair, you can't go out, you can't move, you can't play. So maybe your digestion, it's not just your leg that is suffering, by the way. It is your mental health that is suffering. It is your digestion that is suffering. Your social emotional learning is suffering. It hinders your making friends. It hinders your, going out. It hinders your sanity. It hinders your cognitive development, because if you don't move, your brain becomes lazy, it becomes passive, and it's so hard to focus and concentrate. So again, movement is required for focus, concentration, for learning, for development, for language. And as we were talking of the womb, and we were talking of crawling, and we were talking of walking, I want you all to understand that there's no time to explain how and give you references, but speech, language, learning is connected very, very deeply with movement. And it is only when the child moves, has a rhythm, has learned how to breathe, that he's able to take sound and is able to speak, right? And this whole scenario, if you connect with our pandemic life, if you connect with what is happening right now in our world, in our houses, in our homes, in our communities, in our societies, in our schools, we are constantly in front of the laptop. We are constantly watching screens. We have restricted movement. Our children are in front of the screens. They are eating in front of the screens. What happens when you're constantly in front of the screen? These are all the things that take place. You have personality disorder, you have learning difficulties, you have anxiety. Children are so accustomed to instant gratification. I don't want this, I want this. I don't want this color, I want this color. I don't want this sound, I like this music. I don't like this music, I don't like her hair. So constantly their need is being satisfied through the screen, and it is leading to a lot of personality disorder, a lot of learning difficulties in children. And even as adults, if you see, I think in the pandemic, one of the biggest killers is not COVID. I think it is loneliness. I think it's isolation. So it is lack of movement. So in this pandemic times, one of the biggest messages that I would like to give you for your own personal growth and understanding is the importance of movement, and how through a variety of ways, it is very important for us to move. Whether you do yoga, or you 2 or 3 times you do your leisure activities, go out for a walk, whether you have recreation, whether you go swimming, whether you go for playing football or squash or table tennis, or even if you live in a small house, have a blindfold, play with your children, play carom, run around, goof around, have fun, laugh, and move. Movement is the key to life and the key to living. So I hope I have been able to establish the link between movement and learning. And this is the end of my presentation. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you very much.
Right, thanks, Asma. Asma, it was a great presentation, good visuals. Importance of movement is very important, and not living a sedentary life. Okay, something very nice. I'll give you. I allow one question, please. There's time for one question. If anybody has.
Sure.
May I interfere, Asma?
Yeah.
Another question here.
Yes, hello.
I'm another question speaking, a pharmaceutical man. I really appreciate all your concept and examples regarding movement. But one point I want to bring to your kind attention, that vestibular, that apparatus is only to find out.
Mr. Ananthakrishnan, please.
Yes.
Let us not have any correction here. Please. It's my sincere, honest request. This is a public platform, and we will leave it at that.
Okay, so Asma, it was a great presentation. You did drive home the point that movement is very, very essential, which we had taken things for granted, and you brought it so beautifully from the cosmos to our day-to-day life. I think it's a wonderful presentation that you did. And thank you so much for opening people's eyes to tell them that move and don't be stagnant. Wonderful. Okay, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming and honoring our platform. We look forward to you making presentation in a Participate platform as well, because I know you
Thank
got
you so much for the opportunity.
I know
Thank you.
I know you got so much to offer, and you can certainly value add to the forum as well. So right now, I request Durga Prasad to go ahead.
Good teacher.
Yeah, I'll go with the poll. I'm launching the poll right away. Friends, please cast your vote. Poll is started. Content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. What do you feel? 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Keep scrolling down, you will get one criteria of the other. One more minute to go. Seconds. I really appreciate the level of participation all the participants have in voting for all the people, all the competitors. Thank you so much. You are such a wonderful set of people. Another 5 seconds, we are stopping the poll. And thank you so much. Danny, over to you.
Right. Thank you, Asma, for your presentation. As you rightly put it, movement is very important. And even for this platform to move, for the world's best trainer platform to move, to become big, we need a lot of support and help. So I am fervently appealing to people to ensure we are looking at something very, very big. And for anything big to happen, a lot of effort has to be put in. And there are lots of people in this platform selflessly putting in the effort. Even participants have come forward to volunteer to be leaders of weekly teams. That is the involvement that we have. We want to recognize everybody, and we want to have 1,000 people attending Mr. Arun's Pay What You Want. And more importantly, have 1,000 people attending every webinar of ours. So therefore, we need your support. I again ask Durga Prasad to play the video for the one last time.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children. Peer, subordinate, or even your boss. Friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand what is this video about. This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the number one leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop. Who are you talking to? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right. One thing you must know, if Mr. Arun promises, he delivers, because he is a man of words. And Mr. Arun does not promise very easily. And you can take it. You're making a great decision to empower yourself first and to contribute to a great community. So the link is shared. Kindly register 1,000 people for the workshop, and you're going to have a great platform for everybody to grow, for everybody to make a career and make great things happen. The link is there. Okay. Right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your patronage. Let's make it happen. Okay. My fervent appeal to you, it really is a great cause that you are all into. And now we have got the last speaker of the day, a very, very interesting topic, because we all want to know what are these three vital questions. I'm asking myself what it is going to be. And if I can get the answers to it, I'm sure I made my life, right? So I'm sure each one of us will have the benefit of waiting till the end, because these three questions can probably change your life. And the speaker is a renowned person. He has completed his Bachelor's of Computer Science from the University of Pune. Being a completely people's person and avid reader of spiritual and self-help books, he decided to pursue a career in training where he could effectively impart his knowledge. He is licensed global psychogeometric facilitator, India's first certified 3 vital questions facilitator, internationally licensed Heal Your Life seminar leader, diploma in experiential education, life coach, business coach, and parenting coach, and an NLP practitioner. He is also a licensed Access Bar practitioner, certified Oro reader, and healer, certified chakra leader, and healer, pranic healer. I'm sure we are going to have all these great inputs from this person. Let's welcome Mr. Pranthik. Over to you, Mr. Pranthik.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, all of you, for waiting till this time. Last speaker. Okay. So let's start off directly with what are these three vital questions. I would recommend there's some screen. Okay. I would recommend everybody to sit with pen and diary so that you can take some notes. So there are a lot of things to be taken care. Also, I would appreciate if you can answer a few questions in the chat box. There are a lot of things happening, and we will keep it continuously interactive. I have kept the chat box ready in front of me also to read the chats, the answers that you'll be writing. A lot of screens coming up, popping up. Okay. Three vital questions. It is a very, very powerful tool to handle the workplace and personal drama.
Mr. Pranthik, if you can come closer to the mic, it can be better. You're audible, you can be better. Okay, fair enough. Is it audible now? Yeah, it is, but yeah, it's absolutely fine, but a little more volume could be there. Okay.
All right, there's my voice. Okay, the first task, please draw a house. Draw the picture of your house. Draw the picture of a house, and once you have drawn, then put in the chat box done, and then we'll see what kind of picture you have drawn. There is no competition in the quality of drawing. I just want the picture. Okay, done. Great. Just show me, open your camera and just show me the picture that you have drawn. Bring it close to the camera. If anybody can. Okay, Mr. Narendra. Okay, yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Suraj. Great. So what the 3-4 pictures that I saw, you have drawn a picture which is very much similar to this one. Now a question. Why did you draw that kind of house? Are you living in such a house, or have you ever lived in such a house that you have drawn? You can write the answer in the chat box. Are you living, or have you ever lived in such a house that you have drawn? Second question.
No.
Is this the way nowadays the buildings or the homes are built? The third question. Why do you think you drew the house the way you drew? Why did you draw such a house? We learned it that way, some artistic ones, easy, school time. Okay, that means your old habits have been triggered now, and the old habits you have just made it operate right now. Now the question is, the style of buildings have changed. You may not be living in such a home right now. Still, why did you draw? Something inside of you has triggered to draw the house, something that you have learned right from the childhood. Why? Let's go deep into that. Look at the evolution of a computer. It is so amazing to see the way the computers are evolved. If you look at the computer, the first computer that you can see on your screen, some 20, 30 years back, nowadays the computers don't even look that way. Now the computers are much more slimmer, faster, and smaller. Computers nowadays do not look like computers. They have become tablets and sometimes watches. However, the tangible look of the hardware, it generally gives an idea that hardware decides how the software to work. However, it is exactly the opposite. It is the software which tells the hardware how to operate, how to work. And every month we get a message in the laptop or the phone that we are using, update, latest update, update your computers. Now just think over, if you do not update the computer, what happens to the computer? If you do not update the mobile phone, what happens to the mobile phone? How does it operate? You can write the answer in the chat box. if you don't update the computer and the laptop, what happens? It becomes outdated. Okay. It lags, it slows down. Perfect. Now, this is computer. Let's talk about human. The human has evolved this way. In terms of the hardware, the physical body, we are stuck with the hardware part that some 200,000 back, 2000 years back, and we cannot change the hardware part of the body. The only way a human can now evolve is updating the software. And I call that as human operating system, the human software. What is this operating system? What is this human operating system? Basically, it is how you view the world. It works like a lens that filters the complex reality around us and gives the data that we are looking for. Most importantly, this human operating system, it provides us with the basic information, how the world is, our assumption, beliefs, and most importantly, it influences all our behavior. What is this human operating system? Let's understand something that I call as the lens test. Okay. What is the color of my shirt? What is the color of my shirt?
White.
White, right? And what is the color now?
Red. Reddish yellow.
Reddish yellow, right? Use any.
Yellow.
Yellow. For you, it is white, yellow, accept it, whatever it is, whatever you see. Now, I want someone to volunteer, someone who has been wearing spectacles for more than 5 or 10 years. I would ask that person to unmute.
Okay.
Okay. May I know your name, sir?
Joseph Williams.
Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, since how many years have you been wearing your spectacles?
For the last 20 years.
20 years. So by wearing the spectacles for the last 20 years, you got used to your spectacles?
Yes, I am used to.
Yes. And do you consciously remember that you're wearing a spectacle?
Yes. Sometimes not.
Sometimes not, right? Sometimes there is a space that sometimes we are wearing the spectacle and still searching for spectacle. Where are my spectacles?
Yes.
Happens, sir. And has anybody experienced this? You are wearing the specs and you have gone to sleep, or you are wearing the specs and gone for a shower? Anybody
No.
else?
Me, I did it.
Somebody must have done that. Okay. Everybody has different experience. So now, Joseph, I have sent a parcel to you, and you will receive it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
In that parcel, you are going to get a new pair of spectacles.
Okay.
The spectacle does not have over here. It has a soft leather, and so that it fits on your face very beautifully.
Yeah.
And does not pain you.
Mm-hmm.
And the condition is you have to keep on wearing that spectacles for next 5 to 10 years, even while taking a bath.
It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why I've kept soft leather and Velcro.
Yeah, I should get acquainted to it. No?
Get acquainted. Now the beauty of that spectacle is the spectacle has red tinted glasses.
Oh.
So is it possible that after 5 years wearing the spectacle for 24 hours a day, you will this red color glasses?
I won't like it.
You won't like it, but will you get used to it if you wear it every day?
Yeah, that is obviously yes.
That's the question. So now the lens that you're wearing continuously, you get used to it.
Yes.
After 10 years, when we meet you, when we all the 100 people meet you and just say, wow, this world is so beautiful. It has so many beautiful colors, yellow, red, blue, black, brown.
Yeah.
And how does the world look to you?
Colorful.
But you're wearing the red specs.
Yeah, I cannot enjoy.
It will be monocolor.
Yes.
Now tell me, if we are here to help you explain after 10 years, you're still wearing the red specs. I am saying the world is multicolor. Will you agree to that?
No, because I have not experienced it.
Exactly. So that is where the whole idea all about conflicting arise. All the conflicts that arise between two people, two human beings, is because of the color, the difference of color of the lenses that we each carry. And we do not remember since how many years we have been wearing that lens, that the way we have been viewing the world, and it has created all the conflicts in our mind, the judgment, the assumptions, and the beliefs. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for participating. Okay, so let's understand human operating system. How can we identify our own human operating system? What is my operating system? By this formula, which is called as FISB, F-I-S-B-E, FISB. Okay, what is this FISB? We'll come to that. But another question, you can write an answer in the chat box, all of you. Choose a car, A or B. You can put in the chat box, A or B. A, okay, A. Good, B, okay. You can choose anything. I'm not going to sponsor any of them. Just a question. How would you like to see yourself and your car? Would you like to see yourself and the car along with your loved one, with your family, driving along a hillside, enjoying the breeze and music? Would you like to enjoy this way? Or would you like to see your car and yourself in a maintenance shop? Right? What could be the answer? The first one. Great. However, once a while, if you take the car to the garage for maintenance, it is good. Once a while. But just imagine, what if out of 30 days, 12 days, your car is in the maintenance shop. Out of 30 days, 12 days, the car is in the maintenance shop. Do you think the vehicle is in optimum state? And do you think the vehicle is highly efficient?
No.
No, thank you. Now consider this vehicle as your organization and answer the same question. Now just imagine 40% of the manager's time goes in just managing conflicts, managing differences among people. So do you think your organization is performing in the most optimum level? And do you think the organization is profitable?
No.
Thank you. So now just think over, it's not just the organization, go to your family. How many times there have been challenges in family, just handling conflicts in the family, how many days, how many hours, how many months? Okay, the question to you. Now coming back, how do you identify your own operating system? What is that thing that continuously is creating conflict? That thing, that FISB, I'll now decode, is called as FISB. The FISB model is F is focus, IS is the inner state, BE is the behavior. So that is FISB. Okay, is the mental model. That is how every human being operates. That is a human operating system. It is common to all. To be able to understand it much more better, let's understand it in a different way. Let me give you an example. How many of you love beaches? Would you like to go on a beach, evening time? It is soothing. Okay, it's beautiful breeze out there. And there, when you reach, you see a beautiful couple sitting in most serene way. You can see love pouring out of them. And you just go. The idea is not to disturb them, but just imagine you go to them and you ask them, my dear sir, my madam, whatever you want to address, bhaiya, bhabhi, whatever you want to address. You just ask them, how are you feeling? What would be the answer? What would be the answer about how's the environment? How are you feeling now in this environment?
Fine, enjoying.
Enjoying, fine, good. That's beautiful. Now you move towards the right side and you see this couple and you ask the same question. How are you feeling, my dear brother and sister? What will be the answer? Right? I believe you got the answer.
Ridiculous.
Okay. They would be upset. They would be saying, she is not understanding, he is not understanding, families are not understanding, whatever it is. Now just imagine, it's the same external environment for both of them. Both of them are on the same beach, but both of them are operating out of two internal human operating systems. That is called as human orientation, how they are operating. Now, if I have to link with this, go to the first couple. The focus of the first couple is everything that is happening good in their life, everything that is happening good in their surrounding. They're looking at the ocean. They're looking at the love within each other. They're looking at the beautiful weather. Focus is all good. And what kind of inner state, the emotional state they are into? The inner state is happiness, is bliss. And how is the behavior? It's all about love, romance, and appreciation. Go to the second couple. The focus is everything that is going bad. The inner state is stressful. The behavior is reactive. And that is where I would like to share that many of the people, most of the people have one default orientation, which is fear or reactive orientation, which is coming from the Homo sapiens. One question, what is wrong in this map?
It's upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down.
But is there anything wrong in this?
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, exactly. There's nothing wrong in this picture. But from today, I tell you, all of you will start using this map. Will you be comfortable?
Sometimes.
It will take some time.
Yeah.
But today, all of a sudden, I'll say that this is the new map that you have to operate. It will become uncomfortable because we are not used to it. We are used to this map. So this is a default orientation. You give this map, it's very easy to read. I'll give you the other map, very different. Okay. That's the default. This is the default orientation. That's a new orientation I'm talking about. Now, just think about this experience. Imagine, what if I put you into a tube, stuffed tube, head first? How would you feel? And it is a cold, confining tube. How will you feel? Write the answer in the chat box.
Suffocated.
Suffocated. And you're not allowed to move in the tube.
Dying.
Not able to breathe.
And for hours together, at single time, I have put you, and for hours, 4 or 5 hours, I'll ask you not to move. How will you feel now?
It's all dying.
And I will keep on making scratching sound outside the tube. How will you feel now?
Irritating.
Irritating. But will you believe
Exhausted.
that many people volunteer and pay good amount to get this experience? Can you believe that?
Water park.
No. MRI scan. Now, the whole idea is the moment I gave you some description, the whole mindset went to something, the focus went to what is going wrong with this. Okay, you thought you'll be constrained. It's feeling like dying. It's very irritating. The focus went easily to what went negative. What is wrong in this moment? That is our default orientation. And the default orientation is called as problem orientation. The focus is always on problem. What is going wrong? What is not happening good in this? Okay, whenever you think of this, like I was taking you through the MRI experience, okay, you're imagining yourself in the tube. When you focus that it's problematic, okay, it's stuffed. The inner state, what kind of inner state you were experiencing?
Bad.
Fear,
anxiety, whatever you want to do. It was a negative emotion. And what kind of reaction, what kind of behavior you gave me? It was a reactive behavior. I die, I'll get suffocated, it's irritating. So mostly all the behavior that comes out is out of these 4 behaviors, okay, these reactive behaviors. One is the fight. You get irritated, you get aggressive, you raise your voice and you fight for that situation, for that event with that person. The second could be flight. I don't wish to handle this. I do not want to handle this. I'll rush away. I'll move on. Third, freeze. Unable to do anything. Oh God, what happened? Somebody come and save me. I'm not able to think it. Freezed. Okay. And fourth is appease. Okay, no problem. Okay, it's my mistake. I will take care of it. Let's work it out somewhere. All of us use either of these 4 reactive behaviors. Please choose which one is your dominant behavior. Okay, and the interesting part is you choose one. Let's say, for example, you choose fight. That's your dominant behavior. That's your default orientation behavior. If that does not work, you can also shift to the other part. Okay, if the first thing does not work. So please write down, be aware, get into awareness, which is your first dominant default orientation. Is it fight, flight, freeze, or You can, I mean, you need not have to answer in the chat box or keep writing the right. It's your self-awareness.
Flight.
Flight. Many people flight. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, what happens is, out of this, of anything that you use is coming out of reaction. That's why it is also called as default problem reactive orientation. It's again problem orientation because the focus is always on problem. What is happening wrong in my life? What is happening wrong in this event? The second couple. Okay. Now let's go deep with this problem orientation. What is wrong with this problem orientation? Now, somebody answered flight. Somebody said fight. Just think over. What is the intention of that reaction that you just displayed? Like you flight, you flew away from that situation. What is the intention behind that action? Why did you fly?
I don't want the problem.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So you were basically avoiding or getting rid of the problem. Okay. I don't want it. So the orientation of problem, default orientation is, I don't want it. I want to get rid of it. I want to escape out of it. Understand, it is not solving. It is just escaping. It is just avoiding it. Okay. So now the whole problem orientation, whatever you use, okay, you use fight, flight, freeze, or appease, whatever you use, the intention is to just get rid of the problem. Now let's understand the depth of it. How does it create more problem? Let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. You had asked your subordinate, give me a report by tomorrow morning 9 a.m. because I have to show it to my boss for getting the annual report, annual sales budget to be done. So I need the data report by tomorrow morning 9 a.m. You had asked your subordinate. Morning 9 a.m. when you reach, you see there is no report on the desk. You call the subordinate, where is the report? Sir, it will take me more 1 hour. And you shout it. You use the fight reaction. Okay, the first one, the fight reaction. Now, let's say, for example, the reaction that you used, it can be fight, whatever is yours. You used for the fight reaction, and that reaction was successful. That means you got the result. After half an hour, you got the report. Okay, so this is the situation. Now, you shouted, you got the report. What happens to the intensity of the problem? What happens to the intensity of the problem? You can choose to unmute.
Deeper.
Sorry?
It has become bigger, wider.
Okay, now you shouted, but you got the report now.
Actually, that problem got solved, I will believe.
Exactly, the problem got solved. Now the intensity of the problem is reduced. So now if the problem...
Sir, M. Chidambaram, another problem will come now.
I'll come to that. Let's go step by step. So, and mute the person. Thank you. Okay. So now you have shouted, you got the report. So the intensity of the problem reduced. Now, when the intensity of the problem is reduced, what happens to your anxiety?
That also reduces.
It also reduces. Fantastic. The anxiety also reduces. When the problem reduces, when the anxiety reduces, what happens to your reactive behavior?
Reaction also gets
reduced.
It also reduces. Fantastic.
Responding.
Okay.
It becomes.
It's not yet responding. It is still reaction because you're shouting.
Reaction is subdued.
Reaction is subdued. That would be the right word. Reaction is subdued. Now a question. Now, because you have got the report, your anxiety is reduced and your reaction is reduced. What happens to the focus on the problem? The way you were focusing on the problem half an hour before, what happens to the focus of the problem? Intensity of the focus?
Reduces.
That is got solved right now.
Nullified.
It's reduced. Okay. So the focus on the problem is now reduced. Now a question, is the problem actually solved?
Not yet. Not yet.
The problem was not at all solved. It was just temporarily handled. Now, because it was not solved, what happens to the problem that you just fixed?
It remains. It continues.
It may recur.
Repeat.
It becomes part 2 of the problem, return of the problem. So when the problem arises, again, The cycle continues. You're high on anxiety. You're high on reaction. Then you get some results out of it. You again shout. You again what do you say? You flight. You freeze or appease, whatever you choose to do. That reaction, temporary fixing of the problem. Then there is less of anxiety for some time. Less drive to solve the problem, but the problem again arises. How many of you have experienced this?
Almost all.
Exactly. And that is what the challenge is all about. The problem orientation is the focus on the problem only remains till the anxiety is reduced. And anxiety is reduced, you lose the focus on the problem. You're not solving the problem anymore. So that's why it is not a problem solving orientation. It is just a reactive orientation. You're just reacting, and the problem is getting temporarily solved just to get rid of your shout, just to get rid of the problem for some time. Okay, it doesn't permanently solve. And look at the effect, the result of reactive orientation. There was a loss of $350 billion in productivity in US alone, Gallup research. Why? Because 40% of the time, managers spend their time in dealing with interpersonal problems, the internal conflicts, rather than productivity. 40% of the time. You remember the garage example, 12 out of 30 days? Garage. The same thing happens in the relationships. Okay, do you feel stuck in a never-ending cycle of feeling frustrated, hopeless, guilty, and resentful in your relationships? Answer to yourself. Do not write in the chat box. Are you also constantly trying to fix the same problem, but never ever able to find the solution? You're giving the best of effort, but you're not able to solve it. These are the effects of problem reactive orientation. How does it work in relationships? Okay, these are the words, these are the language in relationships. I am trapped. I try so hard, but nothing ever improves. I'm quitting. It's over, done. Maybe I was being very unreasonable. If only they change, everything would get better. These are the language in problem reactive orientation in relationships. Okay, and this problem, just let me know how much time am I left with.
You have 4 minutes.
I've got 4 minutes. Okay, so I'll just skip this part then. So this is a problem orientation which does not work. So the solution is to create a new FISB. Okay, the same mental model, but a new FISB. How do we do that? Let's do a small experiment. Everybody, please cross your arms. Just cross your arms and just observe which hand is on top and which hand is below. Just observe. And while you are seeing it, try to bring it the other way around. Okay, so for me, the left hand was on top and right hand was down. Just try to bring it the other way down. Everybody could do it? You can unmute and answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Initially, it may be difficult, but eventually you could do that. That's the whole idea. The new FISB initially could be tiresome. Initially, will take some effort, but you can do it eventually. So the new FISB is outcome orientation. Now the focus, the F, is on outcome. I know this is the challenge. I know this is the situation. What is the outcome am I willing to create right now? With this outcome orientation, when you're focused on the goal, like for example, this whole program, World Best Trainer, this whole program is completely outcome orientation. Okay, when we are focusing on the outcome, now everybody is okay. Wow, this is the outcome we want to create. We want to create we want to bridge the consumer and the trainer. There are organizations who are looking for best trainers. We are here to provide, create best trainers, and we'll create that bridge. When you are there in the outcome orientation, look at the energy of everybody. Everybody is so inspired. Everybody is so inspired. And now the beauty of it is, it is not just 1 month game, not a 1 week game. It is continuously done for next 2 or 3 months continuously. So every day it's a small baby step. Yesterday was the first day, today is the second day. Baby step to find the best trainer, create an outcome and provide it to the best organization. So the FISB, the new FISB is focusing on what you really want, bringing out the inner inspiration, and taking daily small steps to reach to the outcome. And this is where the three vital question helps you move from default orientation to the outcome orientation. As Mr. Jacob asked, what are those three vital questions? So these are the three vital questions. Where am I putting my focus? Am I putting my focus on problem or outcome? How am I relating? Am I relating as a victim, or I'm working as a creator? Am I feeling pathetic? Am I relating like a fighting person? I'm relating myself as a flight person, or am I there to create something new? And what actions am I taking on a daily basis to get those outcomes? So these are the three vital questions, okay, which will help you move from default orientation to the outcome orientation. Thank you so much. That was all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prantik. It was a good session. It's a very deep session, and you're able to put it in layman's terms so that everybody could understand, because on the platform, we've got people from very many different fields, and from education to corporate to everybody, and you're able to connect with everybody. That's something great. Really like that. And you brought in that concept and the three questions. I'm sure taking forward these three questions, people can develop themselves greater and work on the outcome. Very wonderfully said. Okay, thank you so much. And now let's leave it to Durga Prasad for the audience poll. Yes, David.
Yeah, polling is starting.
Do I also have to fill it?
Yeah, please.
I won't fill it. Let it be.
It's good. Self-evaluation.
Friends, criteria, content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. 1 is the lowest that you can give for each criteria, 10 is the highest. A minute more. Scroll down to find all the criteria. Thirty seconds to go. We are ending the poll. Thank you everyone.
I think if it is for your smile, you get 100% something.
Excellent. Yeah. Very
You are
pleasing
awesome.
person.
You are awesome $1 million. You can market it and make money. Okay. So wonderful, Prantiks. Thanks for honoring our platform. We look forward to your continuous presentation here, because 30 minutes is just a teaser for everybody. You can always use our PTS platform where we market your programs and make it global. Okay. And we are looking at every program of ours getting about 1,000 people on the platform. So therefore, I thank each one of you for being part of it, of the session. I thank the speakers, Mr. Jayaprakash for emotional intelligence, Abhishek for perception, Mr. Nayak for golden moments of life, Asma for movement, the importance of it, and Prantik for the three vital questions. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a real honor to have each one of you all here. And we sincerely thank you for being here till the end. We really appreciate that. Now, at this point in time, I'd like to recognize two people. They are known as weak leaders. And weak means it's not strength and weakness, it's the weak, okay? And here they take charge of the team voluntarily to take charge of their weak team. Yesterday we had Thursday team and today we had Friday team. And now these people are doing a selfless job. We'd like to recognize them. The yesterday team was fielded by Tasneem. Tasneem, are you here?
No, she is not here.
Okay, right. And she has done a great work in getting people lined up. It takes a lot of effort. And mind you, they're all professionals. They got the work, but yet they do it. And now the Thursday team was fielded by Vishal. Yes, Vishal. Can we give him a big applause, please? Right. They ensure that all the speakers are there, all the speakers are connected. If at all there's a dropout, they try to find out how they can get it going. So thank you so much, Vishal, for your selfless effort and making this platform a great one. As we told you, this entire platform is by the competitors, for the competitors and of the competitors. So let's make it strong. Let's make it great. We shall all meet again tomorrow, 6 p.m. we start. So kindly check in 10 minutes earlier, and we have another 5 excellent presentations. Continue to come, continue to grace, continue to honor the platform.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir, and good night.
Thank you, everybody, and good night to you all. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night,
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Great. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. And keep coming and bringing your people also, friends also into this program. Let everybody participate. I think this is the best thing that we could do in the lockdown, isn't it? Just have to come in and log in and get such wonderful insights absolutely free. Okay, and let's really make big, let's be empowered. Let's continue to empower people. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kontik. Thank you. If you have a award for hands, smile. Okay, thank you so much.
I didn't get to see the scoreboard.
You don't get to see it.
I don't get it. Okay.
In elections, you only get to feel it.
Great. Thank you.
Because you'll be so overwhelmed by the success, you might not perform again. We want you to continue a great show, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks everybody across the world. People are coming right from Africa and other places, okay? And going forward, we are going to have a multinational crowd big time. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for giving
Have a great night Indian Standard Time. Take care.
Thank you, Danny J.M. Chidambaram. Well done, sir, as usual. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mr. Nagireddy.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Thank you, Durga Prasad and team.
Okay, thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So we'll get off.
Yeah, we'll end the session now, Praveen.
Okay, right. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you all tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.